Teach Henley because you see how the sun is hitting me? This is no finesse, no makeup, no filters, no none of that. This is 100% Teach Henley. I use it in the morning as soon as I get up, right after I pray and brush my teeth, jump in the shower, and I'm hitting the streets because you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So even though they're giving you 40% off your first order, 20% off for life, even though you may get a free gift, forget all that, right? Because we would do this even if it was full price because it's worth that much. I'm in the streets, I'm kicking it with people when I see Dusties everywhere. You don't want to be them. You want to separate yourself. And the way that you separate yourself is self-care. Ladies get it for the fellas. Fellas don't wait for the ladies to get it for you. I'm about to hit the streets right now, and I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling great. I mean, I already got confidence, but to have that extra boost of confidence, knowing that you've taken care of yourself and you set yourself apart from all of the rest of the sheep that's walking around making bad decisions on a daily basis. And it's reflected in their actions. It's reflected in the products that they use. It's reflected in the people that they follow. And so if you're trying to level up, if you're trying to make sure that you look good, they're going to send you the pack. They're going to give you all of the instructions on how you're supposed to use it. Then make sure you get your Teach Henley. Again, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. Get your free gift. Make sure you tap in with your boy Anton Daniels because Unc is never going to lead you wrong. I would never have you use a product that I don't use myself. Again, they've been rocking with me for a long time. Make sure you get your Teach Henley. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. What's going on? Is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank you for tuning in for another edition of the Millionaire Morning Show. I am your host, Anton Daniels. What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? What's going on, friends and family? I feel incredible. I don't know why. There was only two things that went wrong yesterday. I'm not going to say the first one. But the only other thing that went wrong yesterday is Victor Wembanyama and the Spurs. I didn't like that game. I don't like what happened. Looks like that dude is going to be a problem, bro. He's so young, and he's going to be a problem. So I didn't like my Pistons losing yesterday. I didn't like that. I think the OKC Thunder got their hands full. I don't know how they can beat the Spurs in a 7-game series. I don't know how OKC can beat them in a 7-game series. We're going to talk about it tonight, probably on After Hours with my dog Quentin. But outside of that, I woke up feeling incredible. Incredible today. What up? What up? What up? What's up to all of my friends and family in the building? I appreciate y'all for tapping in. Information for the live stream. Information, I decided to go incognito at the game yesterday. So the live stream is up inside of the Patreon. Content creator live stream is up inside of the Patreon. Yeah, I got to take that L, Joseph. It was rough. It was rough. That dude is rough. He had 4 blocks in the fourth quarter, bro. He going to be a problem. What up, family? What up to all of my friends and family in the building? I got a heck of a show that's lined up. We had a heck of a show yesterday. I got a heck of a show today. And we're going to get it popping. What up, Yakar? What up, Jesse? What up, Kay Cooper? What up, Chris Cunningham, Nichelle, Sauer, Jason 18, Malcolm McConnor in the building, Low Sway, Kay Cooper. Hey man, it's been a movie. Ran into Mike Epps yesterday, Boosie. Man, everybody. Rick Ross was here. Everybody and their mama is in Detroit. Everybody is in Detroit. I don't know what's happening. Q Executive Suite, MLE, Christopher Thomas. What up, though? Walk on Wood. AR is back. Jesse Xavier, TM, Will Nola, Majestic James, Purple Haze, John, the John's Journal. What up? KJ Crown, Nathan, Ice Cold, Barry, Beans, Greens, Jim, Brandon Jackson Finance, Nichelle. They certainly ain't here for Kamala. Everybody. We was working, your car. We was definitely working. But everybody and they mama was in the city like over the last weekend, over the last 3 days, 4, 5 days. It's been insane. Yeah, the Clarissa Shields fight. Detroit is the place to be. A lot of people don't know that, bro. The summertime gonna be a movie. I'm gonna try to just stay focused and stay working because you know you get busy in the summertime and it get crazy out here in these streets. What up, Dame? What up, Purple Haze? Mike, what up, Mike? What up, Yaya World? Sean Punch, Azriel, Trill Mercy, Darlene Smith in the building says, AD, good morning. What up, Darlene? Malcolm, Paige, what up, what up, what up? I love y'all. I love y'all. I hope y'all tuning in. I'm coming to Detroit in the summer. It's going to be crazy, bro. Detroit in the summer going to be lit. Summers in Detroit, I'm going to always spend my summers in Detroit, bro. Always spending my summers in Detroit. I love summers in Detroit, bro. Christopher, this summer gonna be nuts. It's gonna be. We gotta stay focused though. I went to the game last night when I seen K had 5 fouls in the third. I was like, oh no, facts. Facts. Facts, facts, facts. Yeah, if you want a coaching call, email me. We scheduling coaching calls. And the merch should be up by Friday. Merch should be up by Friday for the hats. And if you want a coaching call, email me. And we're going to get it popping. New York is over, bro. New York is over. Detroit is where it's at now. So it's Detroit. Detroit is the Mecca right now. Detroit, I'm telling you, Detroit is where it's at. New York is over, bro. It is over. It's over. Ever since y'all got that mayor, and everybody walking away from New York. Nobody fucking with New York right now. New York is over. It's Detroit where it's at, bro. This is the Mecca nowadays. I need to get my pants. Let me go and get my pants real quick. I gotta get comfortable. Travel during the winter, hustle all summer. Nah, Detroit is where it's at. I ain't hyping nothing. I'm trying to tell you, summers in the city is crazy, bro. Nah, I got on my joggers. I had to put on my joggers. When you get into the studio, you put on your joggers because when I get here, I know I got to lock in. When I get to the studio, I know I might be here for 12 hours. The DMV is where it's at. I don't believe that, bro. I don't believe that. You know why? You know why I don't believe that? Because I've been to the DMV, bro. It's cool, but it's real gay. It's real gay there, bro. I don't know what's up with the culture there. I got a lot of sassiness over in the DMV. Detroit tech scene big. Detroit tech scene is popping. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and get started with the show. So I want to start off with something that I seen the other day. And I've actually had a lot of smoke for this guy before. I'm going to read the super chat in a second. I'm going to get to the super chats. I'm going to get to the cash apps in a second. I appreciate y'all. Let me see if I can share my screen. Share screen. So you remember this guy's name is Andre Williams? He's from Highland Park, Michigan, if I'm not mistaken. He made a speech in Bay City, Michigan. And so I want to share this with you guys, what he had to say. Well, first, let me unmute it. This was his speech in Bay City, Michigan, at City Hall. I'm not even sure what Bay City is, but this was his speech a little over a week ago.
Michigan, 1160, Holcomb, Detroit, Michigan. I'm a political content creator with about 300,000 followers on Instagram, with 50,000 on X. I talk about the Black community and the problems with Black people in America aggressively. We look at immigration in this country. Historically, immigrants did not build America. It was Blacks and whites that built America. All right, that's a fact. You can sit back and talk about stolen land, but you benefit from the stolen land. You benefit from being in this country. There's no other country you'd rather go to. With that being said, I'll bring my Black American perspective on this immigration issue. I don't want people in my country that are incompatible with our way of life and existence. Immigration, statistically, lowers wages. Big billionaires, big corporations, both parties use illegal immigration for their own benefit to stay in power. And we get nothing. The working class gets nothing. It hurts working class, white and Black communities every time. We've seen it over and over again for the last 40 years. In 2060, Black people, who are currently 13% of the population, will be only 15%. Whites will be under 50%, and Hispanics will be 30%. They're currently 21%. This is a great replacement, and the first people being replaced are Black people politically, economically, in our communities. No, I don't support illegal mass immigration. I don't support any of these policies. They're destroying our country. And I'm sitting in a room of weak white men and women that are letting the country go. You think the country's gonna be better because you've got more food to get at a store, or you got more cuisines? You're doing this because you want to feel good. That's why. You're doing this because you want to have some good feeling. I'm helping out the minorities. Give me a break. No, you're not. You're killing yourself. You're slowly allowing your civilization, your identity to be eroded. And then you're going to sit back and drag other Black people and bring us out as the token Blacks to support these policies, which directly affect us in major cities. We suffer from it. We're not benefiting from it. We're not going to gain anything from it. When Hispanics become the majority in this country from illegal immigration because they have a higher birth rate and because Blacks and whites don't want to have stable and strong families, we sit back and we allow our families to be extremely dysfunctional in our own regard. When these people come to our country, they're not coming for a better way of life. They're coming for two reasons: for economic opportunity, because guess what? Their country doesn't have it. And also because we support foreign countries that destabilize their countries and allow these people over here and advocate for these people being over here. I'm going to mention Israel, America's greatest enemy, not ally. So to sit here and have white men and women, along with Black people, I'm seeing on TV constantly support these policies, you are slowly destroying this country. Black Gen X, you're slowly destroying this country. White Gen X, you're slowly destroying this country. White millennials that want to sit back and talk about they're for the working class, they're for socialism. Well, guess what? Of course. Well, guess what? Stalin and Mao, they deported millions of people. When I talk about the Holocaust, you know what? I wish I was the Gestapo. We get these people out quicker. I don't want people in my country who are here to economically and politically replace the people who built this country for generations. My family's been in this country for generations. My family didn't come off a boat in the last century. They were brought over here, sold by Jews and Arabs, brought over here into the southern states. And they worked very hard for this country to be what it is today. But now we have weak people in power that want to feel good, that want to sit back and try to swindle us and fool us as if they care about these people. If you actually care about these people, you go after the mass corporations that use these people for cheap labor, both Democrat and Republican. If you actually care about these people, you wouldn't sit back and try to pander to them to get them to vote for you every election. You would actually serve the people's interests, fixing the failing infrastructure, fixing the dysfunctional schools, providing incentives for people to have families, strong and stable families. We're not having that in this country. We're sitting here crying about 2 people that got killed, and we have millions of people in our country that are homeless. We're crying about people who stood in the way of us solving a massive issue, not just in this country, but across all the Western world, Western civilization. Listen, you can sit back and look at me and say, why is this black man up here defending this? Because I live here. This is my country. I serve my country in the 82nd Airborne. I love my country. My family's worked very hard for this country. My grandfather's 44 years in the Navy, 20 years for the city of Detroit as an EMT, a doctor with a PhD in anatomy and physiology. My mother working in real estate and insurance. My father deceased. A hardworking American family. Generations of black Americans have worked very hard, and generations of white Americans have worked very hard. And for us to give up what we have, for us to give up what we've built, is a great tragedy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let me say this, and this is why it's important for you to be objective. This is why it's important for you to be objective. I've had a lot of smoke for this guy previously. I don't think that we care for each other at all. I think that there's some things that I disagree with him action-wise, as far as him putting himself in certain positions or going inside of wig stores or whatever. You know, the antics get a little bit weird sometimes. And so in the past, I've had a lot of smoke for him. But let me just say this. The reason why it's important for you to be objective is because nothing that he said was off. Every single word that was uttered out of his mouth as far as communicating effectively why white people and black people in the United States of America that are inherently from this country, that built this country, need to stick together, which is something that I've been communicating to you guys. And of course, to the disdain of all of the lower hanging fruit that say that they want black economic power and all of this stuff. I've said this a long time ago, and he articulated it beautifully in this, I don't know how long this was, 5-minute speech that he made. And he was absolutely 100% right
for us
and cooking with fish grease. His name is Andre Williams. I always like to give credit to the content creators, regardless of whether I agree with them or not. In this particular instance, he is correct. You see a lot of white liberal apologists that are pandering, that feel as though they need to help others that are not from here in order to feel better about themselves, and they're giving the country away. The black population is not going to continue to grow. The white population is going to continue to go away. And you're going to see all different cultures take over this country, destroy it, ruin it. If you don't do something right here, right now, the seeds have already been planted. And I believe that he was 100% right. His name is Andre Williams. He does a lot of content on TikTok, if I'm not mistaken. And I think that he's right on this instance. And objectively speaking, you know, he was right. He's 100% right. In the past, I have disagreed with him, especially with some of the stuff that he's done and some of the antics that he's performed. And I'm pretty sure that he don't like me either. And that's cool, because people don't have to necessarily like each other in order to agree on specific issues and specific subjects. People don't have to like each other at all. But I will tell you that he's very intelligent. He's actually served this country. And with regard to the issues that he brought forth, I think that he was 100% correct. He is 100% correct on all of the issues that he discussed in this particular speech. We are not growing in population. We are growing in destruction. White people are not growing in population in the United States of America. They are going to continue to dwindle when it comes to the amount of white people versus the amount of Hispanics and people outside the United States of America. And the erosion of this country continues because we continue to apologize and placate for people that's not from here. And we always try to make them feel comfortable while we give away everything that we got going on. His name is Andre Williams. He cooked. He cooked. And when somebody sent this to me, they sent it to me a couple days ago, over the weekend, and I was like, damn, he did cook on that. And so I'm able to give credit regardless of whether I agree with people or not. And this is also how politicians need to be working together. You don't have to agree with everything that somebody says, or you don't have to agree with 100% with them across the board to give them credit or to acknowledge or to work together on particular issues that affect America. We could disagree about how we feel about each other. He could not like the fact that I wear glasses, and I could not like the fact that, he don't do something. I don't know, whatever, right? Some random shit. You cannot like a person's personality. You cannot like a person's, way of life or how they live life offline or whatever. 100%. But the things that we agree on, that's the thing that you need to unite in. And then you leave the bullshit at the door. He was clear. He was concise. It don't look like he had wrote anything down. He was just speaking from the heart. And these are the type of people, that type of communication is the thing that we need to be highlighting as far as bringing forth to the forefront of the congregation the issues that is going on inside of America. He cooked 100%, and I'm gonna give him his credit, and I'm not going to not give him credit or not highlight what he was right about because I disagreed with him in the past, or I don't necessarily care for some of the things that he said or done in the past. He cooked 100%. And I think that he was absolutely awesome in what he said. And of course, black people don't like him. Let me revise that. Black culture does not like him. They hate him. I think that they may hate him more than they hate me. I think that the reason why a lot of them may hate me a little bit more is because I got a bigger platform. I have a bigger following on YouTube. So YouTube is its own entity. You know what I'm saying? It's its own cyclone. If you go on Instagram, a lot of the people on Instagram don't give a fuck about what's going on YouTube. A lot of the people on TikTok don't care about what's going on Instagram. And so each social media platform is its own neighborhood, it's its own city, it's its own state, it's its own sphere, right? The YouTube sphere is completely different than the TikTok sphere. They got their own beefs on TikTok. They got their own beefs on Facebook. And they got their own beefs on Instagram. It's amazing about how everything is segmented, bro. How everything is segmented. I control YouTube. That's it. I'm the king of YouTube. Of course, Candace Owens is the queen of YouTube. She really the GOAT of YouTube. There's nobody. She in her own atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? You got Candace Owens, and then you got the other people, right? You got the Mr. Beasts. You got, Osmond Gold. There's some people that's just like, they're in their own, it's like they're international. You know what I'm saying? They global. But when it comes to the hood, I'm the king of the hood. When it comes to hood YouTube, when it comes to black YouTube, I'm the king of this. I'll run this. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to like international, big time or whatever, I'm going to give them that. But when it comes to this space right here, we run this, right? There's some people that's just up out of there. They out of there. It ain't nothing. They not. We don't even consider them in these spaces anymore. But then when it come back to this space, you know what I'm saying? When it come to black YouTube, we run this over here. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, Joe up there too. Of course Joe is up there. Of course Joe is up there. Yeah. Oh, we getting there, Nichelle. You said you're trying to get me to 5 million subs. I'm almost at 1.9. If I'm not mistaken. Let me see what's happening. Dude. Let me see what's happening in these streets, man. Oh yeah, we'll be at 1.9 before the end of the day, all day long. Yeah, we'll be at 1.9 before the end of the day. Then we'll be at 1.3. 1.3 incoming. We'll be at 1.3 this week. That's crazy. They should have never gave me a platform. All right, so I'll tell y'all what. They said, do you remember the content creator who had 1 million subs on YouTube and barely cleared $100,000 per year? Shit, we'll do that in less than, 2 weeks? 2-3 weeks, we do 100,000 without even blinking. Yeah, man. So it's levels. It's levels. Like even people that my fan channels and stuff like that, they stuck. They stuck. They'd be lucky to get 100. They'd be lucky to get 1,000 subscribers in a month, bro. We do like a 1,500, 2,000 in a day. So, but that's because they limit themselves. I don't want to give them no insight or anything like that. But it's because they limit themselves. So as long as niggas stay broke, I'm cool with that. I ain't tripping off of it. We'll get there. We'll get there. All right. So shout out to Andre Williams. You're doing your thing on that speech. You're doing your thing on that speech. Shout out to Andre Williams. Let me see what else is going on. Mexico. Let's go over to Mexico real quick. Got to give y'all an update on what's happening in Mexico.
Welcome back. Well, dozens of American tourists are told to shelter in place in Mexico after violence broke out following a military operation to take down the country's most wanted drug leader, El Mencho. The ongoing violence killing over 25 Mexican National Guard troops and more than 24 criminal suspects. Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum says government agencies are working to get the violence under control. Here's Mexico's president yesterday. Watch.
The most important thing at this moment is to guarantee peace and the safety of all the population of all of Mexico. And that is being done. Today, there's more tranquility, there's more government, armed forces, security cabinet, and there's a lot of coordination. It is important that you know that Command Center is maintained today, a national coordination where the 3 secretaries, their teams, the Secretary of the Interior, to coordinate with all state governments.
Joining me now is the Sheriff of Terrell County, Texas, Sheriff Thaddeus Cleveland. Sheriff, it's good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. So do you expect this violence in Mexico, where now there's this race to take over the Jalisco cartel and these drug cartel wars? Do you see any of that violence spreading across the border into America?
Hey, good morning, Maria. Great to be on with you. And no, I don't see it spreading across the border. And that's why we have U.S. Border Patrol, of course, Customs and Border Protection at our ports of entries. I see them, of course, preparing for anything that could escalate into something, a little larger. And we have, of course, during past uproars of violence or upticks, we'll see a stray bullet or something come across the border, but we won't have any spillover into U.S. soil.
And what are you?
That's one of the reasons why we need President Trump, is because proactively he was already preventing people from coming over into the United States of America that would be spilling over into this country if Biden or Kamala Harris had become president. We already know Biden is not even all the way there. He eating ice cream with his thumbs. And Kamala Harris is on tour trying to sell a book. And she's nowhere to be found when it comes to being able to speak to international policy. If you ask her a question about what's happening over in Mexico or anything like that, she'll probably have Trump derangement syndrome and start to blame Trump. But Trump is working with them to try to squash the cartels, as well as closing off the borders and saying, y'all got to fix y'all own country. Y'all got to make Mexico great again.
Seeing on the ground there, Sheriff, I mean, look, this ambush on this drug boss has created massive worry about Mexico, and the State Department is telling anybody, American citizens who are in Mexico, to shelter in place. What should we expect from those people? When can they be on the move again and get out?
No, you know, Ray, I think that's the biggest concern right now are those American tourists that are in Mexico, or business folks that are in various places in Mexico, just their safety. Of course, remain in shelter in place is a great step until some of that violence starts to kind of curb and lower, and then we can start getting some of those folks out of there. They can resume their travel plans. But I would think, again, that is our most critical piece, are American citizens that are in Mexico waiting to get out.
That's crazy, bro. Yo, I just can't imagine being stuck in Mexico. Ain't no planes flying out of there. You can't get home. You can't get back to your job. You can't get back to your family. You can't get back to safety. You can't get back to your normal way of life because you're basically stuck and being held hostage by the cartels. Because you took a stand, because the country finally, after enabling them to become super powerful, the country finally wants to take a stand against violence. Now, some people are saying Claudia Sheinbaum is bought and paid for by the cartels. I can't confirm nor deny that, so I'm not going to say that out loud and put that on her. But it is so crazy to be trapped in Mexico. They blowing up buses. They're blowing up gas stations. They blowing up cars. They robbing people. They burning people's backpacks with their passports and stuff in them and their identification if you're from the United States of America. And yes, you do still have people that's trying to travel there like they ain't got no sense.
Mexico has deployed thousands of troops to maintain order after the death of the country's most wanted drugs lord triggered an outbreak of violence. El Mencho was killed yesterday by Mexican special forces during an operation to arrest him. The wave of violence has spread across 20 states, including Guadalajara, which is due to host this summer's Football World Cup. From there, Will Grant reports.
The aftermath of drug cartel fury. In the hours after their leader was killed, foot soldiers of the Jalisco New Generation Cartel, the most powerful drug gang in Mexico, went on the rampage.
Look how empty the streets are. And that's right outside of a hospital, because you can see the hospital thing right there at the bottom. Crazy, bro.
Burning cars, blocking roads, spreading.
All you see is the military. All you see is the military, shelter in place, cars being blown up, buses being blown up, people being captured, taken hostage, held for ransom. It's crazy over there. And people still want to go and visit there.
Fear. Incidents were registered in 20 of Mexico's 32 states, the cartel present in every corner of the country. And this is the man whose killing prompted such violence. Nemesio Oseguera, better known as El Mencho, the petty drug dealer who rose to become the most wanted man in Mexico with a $15 million reward on his head. For Mexico's president, Claudia Sheinbaum, the victory lap over El Mencho was tempered by the violence unfolding on the streets, but she insisted normality was returning.
Today there is more calm, and there is government, there are armed forces, there is a security cabinet, and there is a lot of coordination. So you can rest assured that peace, security, and normality in the country are being safeguarded.
The White House also praised the operation and highlighted the role of US intelligence in bringing down El Mencho.
So far, this has been hailed as a victory on both sides of the border, with Claudia Sheinbaum hopeful that it could stave off more talk of unilateral US military action on Mexican soil. But the scenes of violence, including here in Guadalajara, one of the host cities of the FIFA World Cup in just a few months, could harm Mexico too.
Security remains a real concern going into world football's biggest competition. Travellers were stranded in airports, some spending the night with the violence still taking place outside. Despite the chaos.
Listen, when y'all record problems, when y'all have issues and stuff that's happening internationally, do me a favor. Instead of recording like this, record like this, okay? It's not that difficult. Do like this, wipe your camera. Wipe the camera. Make sure it's clear so it don't look like you're recording on a potato. All phones is pretty modern nowadays. Wipe your camera and then record like this, not like this. Record like this. It's a shame that we got to teach y'all how to do this. Record like this, not like this, all right? When you record like this, you enable and empower the full features of your phone. When you wipe it, it don't look like you've been smearing makeup on it all day, and then you can see it in HD, and it don't look like everybody is running with a potato in their hands. All right? So it don't look stupid when we review your videos and we can give you the proper credit. Y'all out here looking dumb, bro.
The Mexican government sees
See all of those people filming the same way? Look at this. Look how blurry this is.
Security remains a real concern.
Why is it so blurry? It's 2026. Come on, get it together.
Going into world football's biggest competition. Travellers were stranded in airports, some spending the night with the violence still taking place outside. Despite the chaos, the Mexican government sees taking out El Mencho as ultimately making things safer here. The cartel continues to reign over huge swathes of Mexico, their income, particularly from fentanyl trafficking, worth billions of dollars a year. In his second term, President Trump wanted to see action south of the border on two issues: immigration and fentanyl. The killing of El Mencho is part of Mexico's response. The carnage on the streets is the cartels.
As you can tell, it's been a harrowing couple of days for Mexicans, and none more so than the residents of the cities worst affected, like this one. Little wonder the government's trying to give off this impression of calm, of normality returning, particularly ahead of the World Cup this summer. However, of course, the people who live here fear that the cartel remains very powerful, very angry, capable of wreaking more havoc, and capable of taking more revenge against the authorities.
Yeah, because whenever you're dealing with money and billions of dollars on the line, then of course you're going to have pushback from the Mexican cartel. Whenever you got billions on the line, you're going to deal with pushback. Look at that. Look at that background. I want y'all to see this. I want y'all to take it in, because it's a lot of people, even when they go to Mexico, they don't leave the reservation. Not the reservation, the resorts. The resorts are curated for American tourists and tourists outside of the United States of America, so that you guys never really have to leave it. And then your impression is, oh my God, I want to live here for the rest of my life and all of this stuff. That's the real Guadalajara. That's the real Mexico right there. That's how they really live. That's how they really live right there. They protect the resorts because the resorts is how they generate all of their revenue. It's tourism. Is trafficking and tourism is how they run their bags up over in Mexico. Oh, trust me. I be going out. I be out and about in the streets. I be going to see what's really happening. And I'm like, ooh, wait, it's harsh out here. Weather is nice. The women is doing the Macarena. I told y'all about that. It's hood. That's what it really looked like out there. And when the sun go down, the bodies start piling up. When the sun go down, the bodies start piling up. And then everybody want to act like, oh man, I can't believe it. Look at how great it is. They got lemon trees. Go on over there if you want to. Get you some tequila. Get you some tequila. Go out there and see what's really happening and catch your L like everybody else. The United States of America, I don't care what they tell you, is the greatest country on earth. The greatest country on earth. QB says, Anton, even the streets of Cancun, a few miles from the resort, it stinks and all of the cars look like they came from a scrapyard. Facts. That's a fact. And all you got to do really is pay attention from your way to the airport into whatever your resort is. And the walls is super high. The walls go super high on the resorts. And then they had a beach and they're like, oh man, this is an oasis. This is an oasis. This is so great here. No, it's not. It's trash. And these countries don't have no industries. And they poor. And they depend on drug money and trafficking little kids. And all of their girls is getting hemmed up. And they getting bust down just like everywhere else. And you go over there and you say, oh my God, skin so smooth. That's because she's been getting trafficked her whole life. Since she was a little girl, she's been getting passed around to Jorge and Jehor and Jorge and Jesus. And you bring her over there the same way that a chick moved from another city. She moved from Chicago to Atlanta, from Atlanta to Houston, and then she found herself over in Idaho somewhere, retired. It's the same thing over in Mexico. You think that just because you found her and you brought her here and she a baddie and she can wash away her sins in your living room, that all of a sudden you found one. No. Jorge and Jehor been knocking that down since the beginning of time. I'm telling you, been to too many cities. Been to too many cities over there. And it's the same thing over there as it is over there. The nature of who they are is the same. Is the same. It is no different anywhere else. You can't save them. It's the same thing, bro. It's the same thing. Y'all out here trying to figure out what's going on. They telling y'all Americans you need to stay inside, shelter in place and stuff, and you fighting.
Fox News alert: Americans in Mexico have been given the shelter-in-place order as the country descends into violence following the killing of the notorious cartel boss El Mencho by Mexican forces. The White House confirming that the U.S. provided key intelligence to this operation. Former acting DEA Administrator Derek Moss is warning Americans in the region are at great risk, and he joins us now. Derek, it's good to see you, my friend. Explain to the audience who aren't familiar with him who El Mencho is.
So, LJ, thanks for having me. It's a great day for Americans. Yesterday, the hockey goal, the end of El Mencho, the leader of the Jalisco New Generation Cartel, the most wanted man in the Western Hemisphere, is now dead. And that's because we have strong leadership in our country, and the Mexican government has stepped up their game. El Mencho's been flooding the country with deadly drugs for many years. If you look behind me, you'll see all the dead Americans, the dead children over my shoulder, and they're working with the Chinese criminal networks. He's a huge national security threat, and I'm very pleased with the efforts both in America and in Mexico, right? So you have cartel operatives all over America that were led into this country with the wide open border. And they've been here trying to, get our kids and our young Americans these dangerous drugs. So I'm very, very pleased with the efforts, LJ.
So the president's action has caused a massive revenue shift for the cartels. They have 3 operations. It is people crossing the border and they pay a fee to the cartel. The drugs crossing the border, that's more money. And then the human trafficking. The White House shut that down. Now, there are still some Americans that are traveling to Mexico. Is that safe, Derek?
Well, let me just go back to one thing to make it clear. President Trump, before he got elected, said placing the safety and security of Americans would be the top priority, and he's a man of action. So to answer your question about the Americans, no, it's very dangerous in Mexico. It's been dangerous there for many years. Right now, this is a wake-up call for the world about the treachery of the Mexican cartels. That's why President Trump declared them as terrorists. Would the Americans want to go visit, the middle of Al-Qaeda Central, right? So right now, what we're witnessing, especially on social media, it highlights the level of control and power the cartels have in Mexico. They're blowing up buses. They're shutting down roads. There's blockades in up to 20 states. They're burning buildings, right? So, yeah, it's very dangerous in there. LJ, I feel confident, though, with our State Department professionalism, with the warnings, the communication is going out all over the social media. I think that they're going to be fine. It's just isolated, it appears. I've gotten some reporting that it's kind of like leveled off a little bit. I hope that's true. But, again, you can't go into the middle of an area where terrorists are. It's not safe in certain areas. So, there's gunfire, there's panic in the streets. They were running onto the airport tarmac yesterday. So let's hope and let's pray that the people can get out of there and get home. And so, it's just very dangerous. But let's not downplay the Americans that are in danger today, because we had millions of unknown people coming into this country, ghost criminals all over this place. So we have a big issue. We got to continue to fight hard.
But let liberals tell you, no. They're all good people. They just want to come into this country and do the right thing. They're former cartel members, but they've given up their life to come and farm here in the United States of America. Or maybe they want to work in a meat packing plant. Or maybe they can build your house faster and cheaper. Or maybe they can make cars cheaper over there. Nah, man. Nope. Make Mexico great again before we start to have this conversation. Mexico is out of the question. It's out of the question. Right now, for me and my people, no, you cannot go to Mexico. You can't go. I know the ladies like to go to Tulum. I know y'all like to go to Cancun. I know y'all want to go to Mexico City. And for the ones that are really adventurous because they want to put it on their bio, world traveler, been to Guadalajara. I know you want to go to these places, but if you have any man in your life that actually cares about you, he will not take what you say serious, and he will say, sit your big head down, go and find somewhere else to go. If anybody cares in your life, if there's a man that cares about you, he will tell you. Now, if he don't care about you, he's going to be like, yeah, go ahead and do whatever you want to do. But if there's a man that cares about you, he going to tell you, hey, you need to chill out and sit down for a second. You don't always have to go nowhere. Learn how to cook at home. A lot of the times when y'all go and travel to places, y'all not even really going to get no experiences. You just going to say that you went. You sending your wife next month? Hopefully that's the way you can get out of it. I'm gonna be for real. Have y'all seen like the footage of what was happening when they captured him? Here, I'll share it with you guys really quickly. don't want that problem. You don't want that problem. I heard somebody was saying something like, man, the YNs in Chicago would be able to handle what they got going over there in Mexico. You don't want that. Stop. You don't want that problem. You don't want that problem. You still shoot your guns like this. You shoot your guns like this. You don't want that problem, bro. They really over there living that life. They really are doing what it is that they're doing. You sitting here comfortable. You just got off a PS5. You just got off a GTA. You've been playing Call of Duty all day. You go outside and you terrorize a neighborhood, and now you think you can survive over in Mexico. You don't want that problem, bro. Everybody tough until they go over to Mexico. Did you hear that? Did you see that? Did you see what they was doing? Nah, we good. And, man, listen, a lot of people haven't explored the United States of America. You know, one of the places that I haven't been to? I haven't been to Hawaii yet. I am really considering when I'm going. I think I might spend the winter next year in Hawaii. I might spend the winter in Hawaii. There's 50 states, multiple different cities in every single state. Bro, I am on a mission to visit every single state at one point. I don't want to just go to the big places. I want to go to all the small America. I was thinking about going on a revenge tour, but then I changed my mind. I said, why waste my energy when you can let your lawyers do the due diligence on that? So we're going to let the lawyers go on a revenge tour, and we're going to go on I Choose You 3 tour. I Choose You Do tour. We're going to go on the I Choose You Do tour. Dos, cuatro, cinco, seis. We're going to go on the I Choose You 2 tour, the Anton Daniels I Choose You 2 tour. Second leg, coming to a city near you. Coming to a city near you, all right? We're going on the I Choose You 2 tour with Anton Daniels, coming to a city near you. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm. I looked into Wyoming. It's hard to get into Wyoming. The flights to get into Wyoming is crazy, bro. Skip tres. I Choose You Dos tour. You know how hard it is to get into Wyoming, bro? Let's say you was flying Friday and you stayed over there till next Sunday. No help. We're sorry. We're unable to find a flight with Delta or our partner airline servicing this route. It's hard getting in there. So now you got to find some weird airline or some alternate place. Only place that flat air is United. $1,400, $1,500, and this ain't even first class. This is basic economy. Economy. Get the hell out of here, bro. $3,000 with 2 stops, 13 hours, and you got to fly Republic Airways doing business as United just to get to Wyoming? Yeah, man, this is hard, bro. This is hard. You got to sit in the airport for 13 hours, do 2 stops minimum to get over to Man. Let me see. Most popular city in Wyoming. Cheyenne. So let's go Cheyenne. Let's go back to Delta. Cheyenne is the most popular place in Wyoming. Not offered, not offered, not offered, not offered, not offered. This is crazy. You can even, you only can fly in on certain dates. And you got to combine nearby airports. So let's go to DTW. You got to go to Denver in order to fly into Cheyenne, which is the most popular place in Wyoming. Man, this is crazy, bro. Flights. Cheyenne, Wyoming. You got to go through Denver. Let's go Friday to... Frontier. Rebuke. Southwest. Man, I ain't about to do all of this. You got to go DTW to Denver. So this is only over to Denver. Let me see something. So you got to fly into Denver and then you drive. And then you got to drive an hour and a half from Denver over to Cheyenne. And one of the reasons why it's the most popular is because it's right on the border of Nebraska and Colorado. It's a headache, bro. It's a headache. That is a headache. How many black people is over in Cheyenne? Black or African American population in Cheyenne, Wyoming is approximately 2.8% to 3.4% of the city's total population. While this percentage is low compared to national averages, it represents one of the higher concentrations of black residents in Wyoming, often influenced by personnel at the F.E. Warren Air. Okay, so the only reason why you got 1,200 to 1,900 people in Cheyenne is because a lot of them are in the Air Force. Hispanic population is 14% to 16%, predominantly white. Shit. Oh, man. It's time to get the Boxolitis Express printer. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Let me read some of these super chats and cash apps, and we're going to continue on with the show. Good gosh. See what y'all talking about out here in these streets. Shout out to my dog, Mike That Dude. I appreciate you, Mike That Dude, for holding me down. Holding me down. Shout out to Mike That Dude. 392Q. Oh, here we go. I gotta hear it. You know, I sometimes I'll be thinking to myself, I don't think I'm gonna stream today. After the Pistons lose, or after the Lions take an L, I'll be thinking to myself, I might need to take a day off. But the problem with that is that I gotta get online the next day and y'all not gonna let it die. Y'all gonna be like, Anton, 2 days ago, the Spurs beat the Pistons. Go Spurs. I don't like how Cade can't take defense from Castle. Still was a good game. Shout out to 392Q. Wesley Turney says, Anton, do you have any advice for those getting sales jobs? And what sales? You can get into pharmaceutical sales. You can get into IT sales. See, now y'all want to talk about the Pistons. Now y'all want to talk about the Pistons. Pharmaceutical and information technology sales is the most profitable, but I could sell anything. I could sell water to a well. So it's a hard life. People in sales tend to make the most money. They make the best CEOs. They create the best companies. You're not going to have a life if you really want to make any money, and you got to follow up, and you have to make sure that you build relationships, and you go from there. Most people that get into sales want to get into car sales, and you got to be a hustler. You just genuinely got to. If you're not a hustler, you're not going to make no money. Bitcoin Brown says, if you ran for office AD, would you hire Andre? I don't know. I never thought about that. Never thought about it at all. Get on Target TV says, good morning, AD and the Bag Chasers. Woke up feeling blessed. Turned 54 and I retired been retired for 4 years. You living a life, bro. You living a life. Shout out to you and congratulations to your retirement. Damn, you retired at 50? I don't think I could stop working, bro. I don't think I could stop working, which kind of lead me into the conversation about Mayweather, but we're going to get to that in a second. Classy B says, thank you for giving out the blueprints of success, AD. God bless the Bag Chasers. We up. Tune into the live stream. Information about the live stream is in the Patreon. It is up on Patreon. I put it up yesterday, all right? Tune into the live stream. If you're not a part of the Patreon, if you're not a part of the Bag Chasers, link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Shout out to my dog, Classy Beats. Made a lot of people money in this chat. Mr. Lot says, foreigners get miles just like Americans made. Get facts. Facts. Sometimes they get way more miles and you get to dog them out more. Mr. Chuck Duke says, it was real good to meet you. A good dude. This is Chuck. What up, Chuck? What up, Chuck? How much Chuck could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Shout out to my dog, Chuck. Hey, I ran into Chuck yesterday. Shout out to everybody that actually see me in the streets in the city. Chuck, you noticed me as soon as I came out the door. I walked out the door. Chuck said, is that Anton Daniels? Oh, man, I'm watching you right now. Hey, Chuck came and kicked it. Shout out to everybody that see me in the streets, especially if you're in Detroit. Everybody that say what up, everybody that show love, everybody that come up to me. Bro, it's good energy. I got good energy for the people. Shout out to Chuck. Ran into Chuck yesterday. It was cold as hell outside, but we kicked it. Shout out to Chuck, bro. I appreciate you, Chuck, for saying what up to me yesterday, bro. Me University says, outside girls don't escape their teens unscathed. Cartier 82 says 80 Trump is speaking live right now. Let me see what he's speaking about. See if it's something worth capturing. Nah, he doing a State of the Union tonight. State of the Union is tonight. State of the Union is tonight. Let me see what's happening out here in these streets. Yeah, State of the Union is tonight. So I don't think Trump is speaking right now. Trump. Nah, he's not speaking right now. Oh, he is live right now.
Mr. Green, take your seat. Take your seat, sir. Take your seat.
This is old. This is not live.
Finding that members continue to engage in willful and concerted disruption of proper decorum, the chair now directs the Sergeant at Arms to restore order.
Yeah, this is not live. Trump goes live tonight for the State of the Union address. That's tonight. That's not live. That's tonight. All right. So we're going to get there, Cartier. All right. Don't fall for the okie doke. South 343 Music says, got a cruise coming up. Should I cancel or keep it or just trying to take a vacation? Go somewhere else. Go somewhere else. Yo, listen. If your experience is not going to be ideal, I would always postpone and go somewhere else personally. State of the Union is tonight. Damn. All right, so let me figure something out. Hold on. So if the State of the Union is tonight, should we do the live stream tonight for the Patreon or should we do it tomorrow night? Because I want to look at the State of the Union live. Like I would like to react to it live. So should we do the Patreon tomorrow, or should we watch the State of the Union? Yeah, do the. So all right. So this is what I'm thinking the play is, because I didn't even realize the State of the Union is tonight. So should we do the Patreon live stream? Because the information for the live stream on Patreon is the information. You know what I'm saying? So Azriel said tomorrow. Tree says tomorrow. No. You're missing it. I'm not wrong. I know you the slower one in the chat. Listen to what I'm saying. We're not going to not do the Q show tomorrow. The State of the Union starts at 8 o'clock. The Q show is going to be right after the State of the Union. Okay? No, I'm sorry. We're not going to not stream after hours tonight. All right? We're going to do the Patreon before the Q show. All right, we're going to do it live. So let me change this in the Patreon really quickly. Because I didn't realize that the State of the Union is tonight. Patreon tomorrow, State of the Union tonight. All right, the people spoke, so we're going to change it up. All right, so I'm about to update the Patreon right now. Give me a second. Your car, can you put this inside of the Discord too? I'll go to 25th. I'll do the 25th. All right, so I locked it in. I just updated the Patreon. And then we'll do the State of the Union tonight. All right? So we're going to do State of the Union tonight. Right after that, we're going to do... Where should I do the State of the Union? That's another question. Should we do the State of the Union on this channel, or should we do it on... Nah, we're going to leave room 9. So I'm wondering if I should do the State of the Union on the Anton Daniels channel, or should I do it on here? Because I'm thinking that I want to do it on the Millionaire Morning Show channel. This channel? I bet. All right, so this is the plan. All right, this is the plan while I got everybody here. We're going to do State of the Union tonight on this channel. After the State of the Union, we're going to go right over to Room 9. Room 9 is going to be at about 10:30 Eastern. State of the Union, I'm going to get it together so we can live stream it at what, like 8 o'clock tonight, 8 p.m. tonight? 8 p.m. tonight is where they send the State of the Union. So we're gonna watch it live, and then we're gonna do after hours after that at 10:30 Eastern. Patreon tomorrow between 7 and 8 p.m. and then the Q show right after that at 10 a.m. or 10 p.m. All right? We working, man. We working. It's too much information. It's too much conversation that we got to have. We're working. We're working. We're working. We're working. We're working. We're working. All right, y'all. So y'all getting all of the streams that y'all want. Courtney Yeager says, why not do a sooner live stream for 80 for the Patreon? I want to. Y'all the ones that act like y'all got to do it at night. If it was up to me, the Patreon tomorrow would be right after the Millionaire Morning Show. Like, we would leave the Millionaire Morning Show. I'm going to cover the State of the Union tonight on here. I'm going to set up the live stream and everything. If it was up to me, tomorrow we would do the Millionaire Morning Show, and then we would go right into the Patreon live stream, and then I will upload it for anybody that missed it right after that. You down? Y'all down with that? We can do it right after. Like literally like 1 p.m. or something like that Eastern. All right, let me change it up. Y'all the ones that determine what happens, all right? I'm a re-upload it for everybody anyway that miss it. So let's just say 2 p.m. Because we don't be knowing what time that we gonna end it. If y'all not a part of the Patreon, link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. All right, so we gonna do it tomorrow at 2 p.m. I just updated it just now. So we're going to do it tomorrow at 2 p.m. I'm going to give y'all all of the insight, all of the information, exactly how I was able to jump 58%. I'm going to show you all of the receipts. I'm going to show you my back end. I'm going to show you my marketing strategy. And I'm going to tell you exactly how I was able to jump. See, we never go less than 24, 28, 25% year over year. We always do more than 25%. Every single year we jump. Well, the last year we jumped 58% as far as profits across the board. All right. So we're going to do it right after the live stream tomorrow, and we're going to get it in. State of the Union tonight. We getting it popping. What up, Mimi? All right. All right. So we getting it popping. We get it in. I don't have no job. So all I do is work for y'all. Oh, snaps, you're right. Wednesday, I got to change that to say Wednesday. You're right. I'm sorry. Let me fix that real quick. Does it still say Tuesday? Good catch. And make sure y'all join the Discord. The link to the Discord is in the description of any of the most recent videos. All right. I changed it. Y'all got it. All right. What else we talking about? Y'all want to go into Mayweather now? Y'all want to talk about Mayweather? They saying Mayweather. Actually, you know what? I think it's fair to go over to Whitlock. So the first person that I seen talk about it was Jason Whitlock. And then I'm going to go over to Ocho Cinco's stuff.
Suggested on their podcast that Floyd Mayweather is talking about coming back, unretiring.
He is.
Because he's broke.
Yeah.
Let's play the clip here of Shannon Sharp and Ocho Cinco.
There are only 3 fights that Floyd can have that can command and get the kind of money he's looking to recoup for money that may have been lost, or money that may have been stolen, or money he may have spent, to date. for one. A rematch with Canelo. That's one fight.
Canelo too big.
Listen to me, Unc. We talk about making that money. He ain't gonna have no choice. Number two, fighting Pacquiao again. Right? Okay. That's it. Yeah. And the only other fight that can get him the kind of money and the kind of payday he might need if you're coming out of retirement and putting your record in jeopardy, and that's Bud.
Bud hurt him, Ocho. Bud is still at the top, and Bud is the pound for pound best fighter in the world. And you talking about coming after 8-year layoff, you can come and fight him?
Do you understand why he's coming out of retirement? Are we missing the point here?
Yeah, we understand.
Come on, man.
No, Ocho. I hope that's not true. I hope he, Ocho. I hope he has an itch. Ocho, I can hope. I hope he has an itch to scratch, and he needs to scratch that itch. I'm hoping that's the case, Ocho. I'm hoping. I can hope. Let me hope, Ocho. I don't want, Ocho. I don't want to be cynical. I don't want to be skeptical. I want to believe that the man has an itch that he wants to scratch, and it only can be scratched getting back into the ring. I don't want to think that financially his situation is unstable.
Guy's got a gambling problem. Of course, his situation is unstable. I mean, this is about as predictable as anything I could imagine. Steve, how old is Floyd at this point?
47, and he has not had a real fight since 2015 when he beat Berto. Then he had the foray against Conor McGregor 2017, and he's done some exhibitions. And I don't know if you know this, Jason, but he actually made an official announcement with the press release. I'm unretiring. Get this. After my exhibition with Mike Tyson in April.
I heard this, yeah.
So that's in the Congo, Rumble in the Jungle Part 2. But yeah, it's for the money. If you, just Google Floyd's name and the IRS. All the news is out there. He owes jewelers money. There's back paid rent for real estate in New York. It's clear that he is now part of the no money team, which is very ironic. And why is he doing this? Well, there's a great line, one of the greatest lines I've ever seen in any movie. Go back to the original Rocky. Rocky and Adrian are going on their first date inside the ice rink, and she asks him, well, why do you fight? And Rocky says, because I can't sing or dance. He can't sing or dance.
Somebody said, Kevin says gambling away millions is retarded. Interesting. If you go to Clarissa Shields fought this weekend. Clarissa Shields fought this weekend, right? If you are part of the who's who, then you were staying at MGM this weekend. Some people hang out in Motor City, that's local. Other people may be over at Greektown. If you were a part of the who's who, you were at MGM. That's where everybody is. That's where New Edition was. They did their concert. Boys to Men and all of them, they was here. Mike, everybody was at MGM. If you, anybody in the city, you were at MGM and you were down here in downtown. It was literally a movie. At any given moment, whether you was in the high limit room or you was at the dice table, because the dice tables is outside of the high limit room, all the NBA players, when they come here, don't matter who you are, comedians, guess where they be? At the tables, at the dice tables, at the blackjack tables, at Nikki's. They was at Nikki's. Nikki's was a spot. And I'm not about to name names about who was where and all of that, because I don't do all of that. I ain't getting into that. But anybody that's everybody is doing it. And it's not because they need money. It's because they're addicted to the rush. They're addicted to the competition. They're addicted to the wins. They're addicted to the hustling. Now, here's the problem with some of them. Some of them don't have a limit. Some of them is not there and doing it the right way, meaning that you looking at it as a form of entertainment. You look at it as, and you get in over your head a lot of times. And honestly, I believe that that is a part of what Mayweather is. I don't think that Mayweather spent all of his money on jewelry and hoes and all of that. You can't spend $1.2 billion on jewelry and hoes. You know where you spend $1.2 billion? Taxman. I don't know anybody that has made over $1 million a year that don't fight with the taxman. That first of all, let me start here. Your biggest fight in your life as a person that has money is going to start with the taxman. Nobody, and I mean nobody, is never going to be as simple as a regular worker. You're never going to give up and just take half of your earnings. Never. Nobody for $1 million a year is going to allow for the taxman. They're going to fight. They're going to fight. And these are the habits all across the board. Taxman, fight. Habits, people got habits. Now, I don't know who got what habit or whatever, but people got crew. Right? Lifestyle. And that get it. Lifestyle. Them private jets, that shit add up. The jets, that add up. All of this. We ain't got no sound. Let me refresh. Y'all got sound now? Are we back with the sound? Are we back with the sound? Tell me if we good with the sound now. All right, we back with the sound? All right, cool. It was wild. I did start. I said, where did I leave off at? What did I leave off at? I said the tax man. And what was the second thing that y'all heard? I'm not muted. Y'all got to refresh our YouTube. I'm not muted. I'll wait for y'all to get y'all stuff together, but I'm not muted. I'm going to wait for y'all to refresh. Go ahead and refresh and come on back in, and we're going to continue this conversation. We good? The sound is good? Y'all good? I'm going to wait to the people that had to refresh, and then we're going to go ahead and refix that. Do a little bit of riding. All right, you good? Everybody back? All right, so the second thing is lifestyle. The second thing is lifestyle, right? Like them private jets, all of your friends traveling with you on a regular basis, all of that style, all of that type. The first thing is going to be the tax man. And there's nobody that make over $1 million a year that's not going to fight with the tax man. The second thing is going to be lifestyle, right? Because a lot of people can't give up the lifestyle. So me in particular, what my goal is I invest 90% of my income, but part of it is because I come from a space where I lost it all in 2008, and I've been able to rebuild myself and get all of the bags back. But then at the same time, I still was able to maintain a rather pedestrian lifestyle, a regular lifestyle. I don't have mansions. I don't have none of that stuff. Can I buy anything that I want at this point in my life? Absolutely. But the difference is I'd rather spend 90% of my income, and this is the thing that we talk about inside of the Patreon and the Bag Chasers, I'd rather spend 90% of my income on investments. Why? If you can't hear, I'd rather spend 90% of my income on investments. Okay? Rather spend 90% of my income on investments. Why? Because I want to be able to maintain a lifestyle for the rest of my life. I want to be able to maintain a lifestyle for the rest of my life, which basically means that if I want X amount of dollars coming in, regardless of whether or not I'm working or not, then that means that I have to spend a bunch of money up front so I can get it all on the back end. The private jet, the entourage, going out to eat, lifestyle. When you go and get that big house, let me show you. I'm going to show you. Property taxes for Florida property tax calculator. Well, that's not even, should we do Florida or should we do California? Let's, for example, say that we want to go and get a house that's $6 million. You know how they be out there talking about, oh man, you know, we want to go and get this $40, $50 million house. Let's say you get that $10 million house, right? You get that $10 million house in Clay County. Your property taxes every single year alone. This don't have nothing to do with maintaining the property. This don't have nothing to do with the grass. This don't have nothing to do with the roof. This don't have nothing to do with the housekeepers, the cleaners. You go and get that $10 million home, you paying $80,000 a year in property taxes. They don't tell you about that part. In order to buy the house, you have to maintain the house. In order to maintain the house, that's how much you got to pay a year in property taxes alone. Alone. Let's go something a little bit more modest for somebody like them, the big dogs, the $4-5 million house, the athletes. Let's go that. Let's go over in Los Angeles. I don't know. Yeah, Los Angeles. What's LA zip code? Oh, we can go with 90210. Don't they? Wasn't that a show? 90210. Beverly Hills. Oh, we got to go. That's Florida. All right. Property tax calculator. Again. Zillow. Let's just go Zillow. Zillow property tax calculator. Let's go Los Angeles. Let's say you get you a $5 million house in Los Angeles. That's just the property taxes. That's not the mortgage. That's not the maintenance. That's not nothing. You're paying $60,000 a year in property taxes. $60,000 a year in property taxes. Now let's go over to Las Vegas. Ain't that where Mayweather is? What's Las Vegas? What's Henderson? Henderson County. No. Henderson, Nevada counties. What counties is in Henderson, Nevada? Clark County. Let's go Clark County. Let's assume that he's in Clark County. Let's assume he lives in a $10 million house. Which I'm pretty sure is more than that. Why it's not calculating? Anyways, some of the properties that I was looking at all across the United States of America, I'm like, man, they got all of these high-ass property taxes and stuff like that. Why would I ever put myself in that position? Let's go. Maybe the property value is too high. Maybe you can only go to $9 million. $44,000 a year for a $9 million property in Clark County, Nevada. So, man, listen, bro. I just think that it's a lot of other things that go along with it. You got lifestyle. You got habits. These niggas like to gamble. Tax man. All of that stuff. Bro, there's no way that the math just don't math the same way that everybody does. The math ain't the same, bro. And a lot of people think that it's just easy for, oh man, bro, you have $1.2 billion. Nope, you got to maintain that for the rest of your life because you still spending money like you got $1.2 billion. And I'm not saying that Mayweather is broke. I don't think that he broke. I don't think that he broke. I think that he's in debt. And that's the other part that kills you. I believe that Mayweather may be in debt. I believe that he probably take on a lot more than he can handle. And this is another reason why I'm not interested in financing. When I build my stuff, I may be building 3, 4, 5 homes at a time. And I'm putting up 100% of the money and I be stressed the hell out because I just sent out a check yesterday for $20,000. I literally just sent out a check yesterday for $20,000. Yep, just sent out a check yesterday for $20,000. Payment activity. See details. Yep, I'll show it to you. Send on February 23rd. February 23rd. And then I'm going to hide some details because I don't want y'all to see the company or whatever. And then I'll show you this side of it. I just sent out a check for $20,000 to a contractor, making sure that they get paid, make sure that everybody doing what they're supposed to do. But I'm willing to pay the money up front. I'm willing to pay the money up front because I get all of my money on the back end. So I'm going to continue to invest and I'm going to continue to put my money up that way that I don't ever have debt because I'd rather spend my money. And that way, I don't ever have to worry about mortgages, any of that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, and they doing it, obviously Mayweather is doing it on a 1 million times bigger level, but I don't know if they are informed. I don't know if they really understand money. Man, I'm telling you, bro, it's a lot of NBA players. It's a lot of NFL players. It's a lot of boxers. It's a lot of these people. They don't know anything about investments. They know how to run up a bag. They know how to make the fast money. They know how to generate revenue while they hot. They don't know how to generate revenue after they leave. They don't. They don't. Somebody said, what's the difference between being broke and being in debt? I'm going to tell you the difference between being broke and being in debt. Being broke is that you don't got no money. Yo, I'm tapped out. I ain't got no way to make money. I got to figure out how to go and get a job, whatever. Being in debt means that you generate revenue, but you owe people. That's the only difference. If you're looking at it from a net worth perspective, I would rather be in debt than be broke, because if I'm in debt, then I possibly still is generating revenue and I can make some things shake, right? You can sell off some stuff, get rid of the debt, but if you don't have no way to make no income, then you really hit. Being broke is I ain't got no money. Being in debt is I owe too much money to people and it's difficult for me to get out of this hole. Simply put, I don't want to be either. I don't want to be either. I never ever want to be either. Ever. And so the best way to do that is to minimize your lifestyle. Once you start making a whole lot of money, spend 80 to 90% of your income on investing, right? Stocks, real estate, all of that stuff. Real estate, well, I'm not going to get into it because now we're starting to get into Patreon level stuff. Real estate is a way for you to be able to maintain and hold on to your income. Stocks is a way for you to be able to protect your investments and generate more revenue and let your money compound. But most of these people, these athletes, these comedians, these boxers, all of these people, they know how to make money. It's very difficult for them to multiply money. They don't know how to run up revenue. That's why they need people around them. And then they're going to have a bunch of hanger-ons around them that, you know, is not doing what they're supposed to do because everybody is just trying to make money and nobody is trying to add value. And that's the thing that you need to surround yourself with. If you're not surrounding yourself with people that add value, meaning people that help you make more money and then they make money while you making money and then all of y'all getting money together, then you need to get them out of your circle. Get them out of your circle. Stop giving money to people that don't add value. Get them out of your circle. All of these people is just going to drain you and they're going to disappear when you go broke.
I can't imagine making as much money as Floyd Mayweather did and being broke at 47 and having to come back and fight. I can't. The guy's, he had to have made $500 million.
No, but wait a minute. Did we forget the words of the philosopher Pat Ewing? We make a lot of money, but we spend a lot of money. Dre, go ahead.
So it's we know what he made off the amounts that was announced, but what we don't know is what he did with his money, how liquid it is, how much assets he remains having, and what are his liabilities. We don't know. The challenge for Floyd, and it's a challenge with a lot of young black men who become famous, is that he made a brand out of, let me show you what I have. I've made this much money. Let me take another picture with stacks of money. Let me tell you, I've made great investments, so I'm good with money. He's been saying this for years. He built his brand off of it, literally changed from pretty boy to money. And if he ends up having money problems, he can't keep up that image, but he has to do something to go get the money. And in the ring, I love watching Floyd. It would be sad to watch him fight somebody like Terrence Crawford and get destroyed and destroy the image that we have of Floyd. The challenge with him, again, is he decided to build his brand around, I have a bunch of money. And this looks like what Ocho Cinco was referring to. It looks like he's doing it for the money. I hope, just like Shannon Sharp said, I hope he's doing it just because he just wants to fight and he doesn't have anything better to do. It doesn't look like that based on the way that he has branded himself over the last 20 years. But I guess maybe we'll find out. Maybe we won't. But that article that you were referring to, Steve, I can't remember which publication put it out there, but they laid out a lot of the stuff that he allegedly is in trouble with financially.
And guys, Manny Pacquiao is doing his own exhibition April 18th against Ruslan Provodnikov. I think it's
Pacquiao is broke too, if that's the case. A lot of people are saying that Pacquiao be giving all of his money away or he help a lot of people, and that's why he be having a fight. That's why a lot of these fighters' brains be scrambled, bro. I'm going to tell you this. I'm scared for Clarissa Shields. Because everybody is there. Listen, it was a movie this weekend. Anytime Clarissa Shields fight, her biggest fights is always going to be in Detroit at Little Caesars Arena. I know that she got people in her corner. I know she got Pap and all of that. But let me tell you what I was looking at when I looked at the Clarissa Shields fight. She take a lot of punches. She take a lot of punches. She take a lot of headshots. Like, it's entertaining, and we be over there, oh, man, it's crazy. They be going at it or whatever. She take a lot of punches. And guess what happens when you take a lot of punches? That brain. That fucking brain. Your health. Because I don't know if anybody has seen, if y'all seen what happened to Tommy Hearns. She take a lot of punches. And it's entertaining. It's all of that stuff. But listen, when you make money, the first thing that you should start doing, when you first start getting the bag, when you first get the bag, right? And I'm so thankful that I went broke earlier in my life. So by the time I hit my 30s, and by the time I started getting the bag again, I had learned the lesson. The first thing you have to start doing, and the first thing that I did was, A, I don't want to go broke ever again. And B, I got to make sure that whatever it is that I do is got to last me for the rest of my life. And that's why you stay down for the first 10 years. That's why you stay down for the first 10 years. That's why you front load everything. Hey, man, I'm going to throw all of my money into real estate. I'm paying off the houses, paying off anything I buy, I'm buying cash. You're operating out of fear and purpose because your goal is, I never, ever want to be in a position to where I have to do something I don't want to do in order to make money. You don't want to have to get in there and take more hits, get beat up for a check. You don't want to have to go and suffer and do this, right? Nobody wants to have to go to Walmart and be a greeter when you get older because your retirement is not going to carry you far enough. And this is something that is across the board. I don't care if you're making $40,000 a year to $40 million a year. The last thing you want to do is to have to go and do something you don't want to do when you get old, when your bones hurt, when you feel like you need to sleep a little bit more. All of that stuff, bro. Before I have to suffer the rest of my life doing something that I don't want to do, I'd rather be up out of here. And that's just my honest, and I hate to put it like that. I'd rather be up out of here. If I have to live if I have to work just to survive past the age of 60 and 50, get me the fuck up out of here, bro. If I've been on this earth for 60 years and I ain't figured out a way to continue to maintain my lifestyle, get me up out of here. Now, it's a difference between doing something that you love. I think that Barkley and them is doing what they love. I think that Shaq do what he love. I think that, it's certain people that's doing what they love. Warren Buffett clearly worked till he was 90 and he did what he loved. Charlie Munger did what he loved. They just love what they do. The numbers is just points on the board. But having to go out there and hustle and put your brain on the line to get beat up and punched in the face just for other people to be entertained because you ain't got no choice, I don't want to do that, bro. I don't never want to do that. I don't never want to live that life. Most of these rappers is broke. Rappers is broke, bro. Most rappers is broke. Most athletes 5 years after they leave the league is broke. They all broke. Shannon Sharp is doing what he loves. Facts.
Natural that those two fight. Mayweather, Pacquiao. You can call it go for broke. It'll sell like hotcakes.
I don't understand, Scap. Why not just start a podcast? Isn't this what all the former NFL and basketball players do? Why not
Can't make $200 million in one night with a podcast?
Yes, they start a podcast and then they go and get a gambling company, Playmakers, FanDuel, and then they start pitching y'all niggas FanDuel and pitching you gambling companies in order for them to continue to, to finance their podcast. That's what they do. That's what they do. They start pitching gambling companies. Because they podcasts don't make enough for them to generate maintain their lifestyle.
I mean, look, are you serious? Mayweather Pacquiao? We could call it AARP is what we could call that. Who wants to watch that? Look, guys, I took the liberty of doing a cursory Google search while you guys were talking. Estimates are 1.1 to 1.52 bill. That's billion with a B that Floyd Mayweather has made throughout his career from like purses that he's taken in from fights. $1 billion, and he's 47 years old, and he's completely broke.
Now, again, I think that this is all speculation. I don't think that Floyd is broke, not even a little bit. I don't think that Floyd is broke at all. I don't think that Floyd probably can live the lifestyle and maintain the lifestyle that he's been living for the rest of his life. But I don't think that Floyd Mayweather is broke, not even a little bit. You're never going to convince me that he broke. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Again, just a little bit of housekeeping before I read the super chats. The people said they want to do the Patreon after we do the Millionaire Morning Show tomorrow. Also tonight on the Millionaire Morning Show, we're going to live stream the State of the Union address with Trump. And we got after hours tonight, so we get into it. All right? Again, Patreon live stream tomorrow after the Millionaire Morning Show. After hours is tonight, 10:30 Eastern regular time. And we got the State of the Union at about 8 p.m. tonight. All right? We're going to get it in. We're getting it popping. Shout out to Hardcore News says just did the nuclear missile site upgrades for F.E. Warren AFB last year. I fly into Cheyenne on United Jackson. Hull is Delta only via Salt Lake. Shout out to Hardcore News. That's dope, bro. I'm going to go and visit Wyoming one day. B100 at Spot. I appreciate you always checking in. Yo, as Romy Rome says, they retired but spend money like they still in their craft. They do. Thoughts on Team USA 2028 Olympic NBA roster? I ain't seen it. We'll talk about it. Maybe we'll talk about it on After Hours tonight. Thoughts on Gilbert Arenas now streaming live? I think that's good for him. I think that Gilbert Arenas, I'm subscribed to the Arenas, to the Arena, and I'm also subscribed to Gilbert Arenas' YouTube channel because I think that Gilbert Arenas is very entertaining. Very entertaining, whether he breaking down basketball or he's talking about, I think that he got one of the best shows as far as sports is concerned. I like No Chill Gill's channel, and I like the other channel too. So he's incredibly entertaining. I think that Gilbert Arenas is one of the very few people that is good at it, but a lot of other athletes jump into it. I'm not interested in everybody's take. Gil's show is dope. I like Gil. Thoughts on John Davidson using that slur? I haven't seen it. I have not seen it. John Davidson. I don't know about it. Oh, hold on. Let me throw a couple of things that I just thought on. Gavin. We're just writing notes for tonight on After Hours. And I want to ask the people, what's up to everybody in the chat? What's up to everybody in the chat? Let me see what else we talking about. What else am I missing? I got some notes of some things I wanted to cover, but I just want to make sure that we're not missing anything in particular. We got to talk about the Chicago Bears. Got to talk about Mamdani. I know TSA is having some problems because of the shutdown. Cash Patel. People are mad at Cash Patel. Have y'all heard about that? Because he was partying with, or he was celebrating with the U.S. Olympic hockey team.
Is there. The puck is still loose. 11 seconds. You've got 46 years after the U.S. defeated the Soviet Union in a stunning upset known as the Miracle on Ice. This morning, the men's hockey team celebrating another dramatic win, this time over rival Canada on the final day of competition. For much of the game, the score tied at 1-1. Goalie Connor Hellebuck keeping the Americans alive by stopping 41 shots. In 3-on-3 overtime, a bruised and bloody Jack Hughes battled through to score the game winner. The win costing him parts of 2 teeth.
Actually, my first thought was I looked down the ice and saw my teeth. I was like here we go again. I know
a lot of people don't know that hockey players, almost all of them don't have their real teeth. Most of them wear dentures. Most of them don't get their teeth fixed until maybe after they retire, if they still got money to do so. But most hockey players walk around with no teeth. And most hockey players actually got dentures. I don't know if y'all know that, because I know that we focus on football a lot. We focus on basketball a lot. Most hockey players don't have no teeth because of the physicality of the sport. They walk around with dentures like old people. They don't have no teeth. And it don't make sense for them to get it fixed because their teeth is just going to get knocked back out again. And so when they skating on ice and stuff like that, they don't be having no teeth. None of their teeth be real. You never heard of that before? They be fighting. That's why they be fighting so much. When they fight, they take their helmet off and they start throwing hands. Or when they get checked up against the ice and stuff like that, they lose their teeth. Unless you like the super, super rich ones and you can continue to go to the dentist and suffer through the dentist. But most hockey players walk around with dentures. What up, Kim? Hold on. I'm surprised y'all don't know this. I'm so surprised y'all don't know this.
Someone with no teeth, and they're not old. If you're an older person and you have no teeth, I'm like, whatever.
You've seen some shit.
Tooth decay and gingivitis happen.
Yeah.
If you're in your 20s, 30s, and you're sitting there at a bar with no teeth, I'm thinking a number of things. None of them are great. You are either a drug addict and it's making your teeth fall out of your head. You're getting in bar fights willy-nilly. If you go to that bar, you see some guy in his 20s, 30s, he's got no teeth in his head. And he goes like this, I play hockey. You go,
that's pretty
that's
cool,
sweet.
man. Yeah.
That is sweet. How'd it happen?
Yeah.
And then you hear a cool story.
That's normal. White people understand that if somebody says, oh man, I play hockey, the women understand, oh, that's why he ain't got no teeth. The guys understand, oh, that's why he ain't got no teeth. I'm surprised y'all ain't never heard of that before. I am so surprised at that. Yes, that is normal. They pull out their teeth. If you look at them on the sidelines, I've been to a few hockey games before. If you look at them on the sidelines, a lot of times when they pull down their mouth guard and stuff, they don't have no teeth. That's normal. So ladies, if y'all decide that y'all ever want to get into a relationship with a guy that play hockey, whether he in college or you get into it with an NFL player, you might be talking to a guy that don't have no teeth.
This and medical team. Obviously a quick little situation where they had to fix some of my lips and teeth and a couple stitches and get back out there.
For the record, no extraction, right?
No, my tooth didn't come out. My teeth went like into my lip, so they had to pull my lip back over my teeth and stitch it up.
Okay, we'll move on from there.
How many teeth are you missing?
Just one. My mom loves my smile.
Hey, Will Blake, how many teeth you missing?
0 missing, but I got 2 fake ones in, if you can tell.
Hey, Yelly, how many teeth you missing?
I got none. I got the best smile on the team.
How many teeth you missing, Cud?
No missing teeth. All real.
How many teeth you missing, Batesy?
I have 1 missing teeth.
How many
I got 1 missing teeth. Neanderthal.
teeth are you missing?
I got all mine. They're crooked, but I got them.
Hey, Johnny, how many teeth you missing?
Not missing any, but I got 1 fake one.
I thought everybody knew this. Anyways, let me get back to Cash Patel. We all disconnected right now.
The last time that happened, it wasn't very fun.
Hellebuck celebrated draped in the American flag, echoing Jim Craig in 1980. In a touching tribute, the team honored former teammate Johnny Gaudreau, killed along with his brother more than a year ago, by celebrating on the ice with Gaudreau's number 13 jersey.
Just a subtle reminder that, him, his brother, that they're kind of with us in spirit.
Then a wild scene in the locker room with FBI Director Cash Patel even spotted celebrating with the team, appearing to chug a beer before raising the bottle in the air, spraying it across the locker room. Patel dismissing critics who questioned why he was in the locker room. For the very concerned media, yes, I love America, and was extremely humbled when my friends, the newly minted gold medal winners on Team USA, invited me into the locker room to celebrate this historic moment with the boys. Meanwhile, 2 cauldrons were extinguished in Cortina and Verona last night.
So people are tripping at Cash Patel for celebrating with the men's hockey team.
Then a wild scene in the locker room with FBI Director.
People are really mad that he was celebrating with the men's hockey team. He was there watching the game. He had on his USA jersey. And people are seriously pissed off and saying, I can't believe it. He needs to be focused on this. He needs to be focused on that. All right, so let me ask y'all a question. How many of y'all spend 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at your job? People are really crashing out about Cash Patel. Let me pull it up on Twitter. People are pissed. They are seriously mad at Cash Patel. Democrats fly to El Salvador to sip margaritas with MS-13 gangbangers. Cash Patel flies to Milan to chug beers with Team USA for winning We Not the Same. No, he was there on business. The FBI is doing their security. Any personal expenses had to be paid by him. Then people are putting up pictures of LeBron James and Barack Obama back when they were on the Olympic team. This is a nothing burger to me. This is really nothing. And people be so bent out of shape and people are super pissed off at the fact that the dude actually went to the Team USA game and he partied with the team instead of sitting in some hotel room somewhere and having a good time. I don't care who go to what game. I don't care who go to what. I don't care if Gretchen Whitmer went. I don't care, whatever. As long as people do their job on the time that they doing their job, then I don't care. I don't care at all. I don't care when Democrats and the president of the United States of America go and do stuff. I don't care when Republicans go and do stuff. It's all, you are 100% right, buddy. It is fake outrage. So now we can't allow for people that work for the government to celebrate Team USA winning. Now we are so sensitive and we're so butthurt that if somebody an adult chugs a beer with the USA men's hockey team, that they are looking at that and they saying, I can't believe he was with the men's hockey team. Why is this even a thing? I don't even understand why this is a big deal. Look at The Hill. Watch what The Hill says. Well, let me pull it up on YouTube. This is why I don't like using other platforms. Oh, this one.
Beer during a raucous celebration with Olympic men's hockey players after the team won a gold medal on Sunday. In the video, Kash Patel is shown splashing beer into the air, pounding on a table, and wearing a gold medal. This led to some criticism of the embattled director from former DOJ officials and Democrats in Congress. Sarakshi Rai, deputy managing editor here at The Hill, joins me to discuss. Hey, Sarakshi. So critics of Patel point to the timing of this celebration. Why?
That's right, Drew. This event, this gold medal match between Canada and the U.S. men's hockey team took place Sunday morning. Now, this was, around the same time that news was breaking in the United States that a man had been shot and killed trying to, enter Mar-a-Lago, the president's property in Palm Beach, and had a gun on him as well as some gasoline. And it's also coming at a time when Mexico was kind of burning. Americans are in danger. The U.S. And Mexican authorities had an operation to nab a famous cartel leader. And it's also coming at a time when the search for Nancy Guthrie is still continuing and entering week 4 almost of that hunt for her. So essentially, there was a lot of criticism that Kash Patel was, in fact, in Italy to go and celebrate with the men's team, and was seen in social media videos with alcohol and celebrating with them. But he did say he was in Italy for pre-planned meetings with Italian officials and private classified briefings. So that's just what we're hearing right now.
What is Patel saying specifically in response to this criticism over the video that came out of that locker room?
Patel is pushing back. He said, he was invited by the men's team to come and celebrate with him. He said that, they were newly minted gold medal winners, and they invited him to come celebrate in the locker room. And it was a historic moment because it's also, the first time that the U.S. men's hockey team has won a gold medal match in about 3 decades. So really, really pushing back on criticism that he was celebrating with them. He was also seen, in that video, in separate videos on social media, calling President Trump, where the president invited the men's hockey team to the State of the Union address in Washington, D.C. as well. And the team, were all very, very pleased to get that invite from the president. So he was also facilitating that phone call with the president as well while he was in the locker room.
Having the president speak to athletes in that way seems like something I can recall and kind of a familiar thing. But to have the director of the FBI in the locker room kind of partying with the guys seems a little bit out of place. Do we know how Patel actually ended up in the...
Why is it out of place? All right, so who decides what makes sense and what doesn't make sense when it comes to what's appropriate and what's not appropriate. Why is it out of place for him to celebrate the men's hockey team winning? I don't get it. I'm honestly like, and I'm genuinely trying to figure out why this is even a thing. I don't understand why they're so pissed off.
The locker room?
There have been some criticism from previous FBI, people as well, who basically said that, you're always representing the Bureau at all times. And so Patel being pictured spraying beer and celebrating with them, they say is a bad look for the Federal Bureau of Investigation. But essentially, he's saying that he was just at the game. He was in Italy for pre-planned meetings and classified briefings with Italian law enforcement officials, and that he was invited to come by the team to come celebrate in the locker room with them after the game, and that's how he's saying he ended up there.
Yeah, I don't listen. I don't care about it from both sides. When people get mad at a Republican because they celebrate with the team, or people get mad at a Democrat because they celebrated with the team. The Michigan governor was apparently there also, right? Gretchen Whitmer was there also. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Now, we had to question when the Los Angeles mayor, Karen Bass, couldn't answer for why she was over in a completely different another country when she knew that there was fires, burning down the Palisades and destroying her entire city and washing over Los Angeles. That's when we start asking, hey, okay, so why was you over there? And she refused to answer why she was out of town on taxpayer dime when her entire city was burning down. But what the fuck y'all want him to do? Y'all want him to just completely be out of pocket? Like, you want him to be everywhere at all times? What do you want him to do? I don't care if Gretchen Whitmer was at the game. It's not a natural disaster happening in Michigan right now, so go ahead to the game. I don't care what you do. I don't have to agree with her politics, but I don't expect for her to be in Michigan the entire time that she on the job. I don't know. Like I said, I think that this is a nothing burger. I think that people continue to try to make things more than what it really is because people are looking for it's all fake outrage. It's all fake outrage all the time. And that junk is tiring, bro. It's do y'all ever put Twitter down? Do y'all ever put Instagram down? Every night. You know what my routine is before I go to sleep? It's hilarious, bro. It is so hilarious. Every night, I go on Instagram and I look at about 2 or 3 videos and I laugh my ass off before I go to sleep at night. Because for whatever reason, my algorithm at Instagram, and I don't know what it is that's going on, but for whatever reason, my algorithm at Instagram, it is the funniest stuff that I've ever seen in my entire life, bro. It is hilarious. It is so funny. And I laugh and I crack up. And right after I get a really, 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 really good laugh, I go to sleep. I might look at some babies like this.
Is that all right? No, these are whites only pies. But do you have any Negro pies? Hey,
honestly, this is what I look at before I go to sleep at night.
All day. Yeah, let's go. All we want is some coffee and a couple slices of pie. Is that all right? No, these are whites only pies. But do you have any Negro pies? Hey, Chloe, come on now. This woman ain't got the recipe to no Negro pie. Where would she get that recipe? Another establishment, we can get us some pies. So, come on, how far is the next 35 miles. Yeah, come on, let's get out. I'm not driving no 35 miles to get no pie. Lady, ma'am, Okay, now we want some pie. Okay, we are hungry. Okay, we want Billy. We want some pie. Why somebody got the?
That's what I look at. I look at that. I'll look at something like that. I'll be cracking up, and then I go to sleep, bro. Because life is too short to be going to bed angry, bro. To go to sleep angry. I'll be sitting there laying in bed laughing. I laugh. And when I be laughing in bed, I laugh the same way that I laugh right here. I'll be hearty with it. I'll be loud. I'll be falling out to bed laughing, and then I go right to sleep. I look at dumb stuff like that, and then I go to sleep. And I wake up feeling so good in the morning, bro. So incredibly good in the morning. So I don't know how y'all just be angry all the time, bro. It's like y'all wake up like, argh! And then somebody, argh! And I'll be like, you good, nigga? I'm going to be honest with you, bro. Before I go over to the next thing, because we got some more subjects that we got to cover. I honestly be concerned about people. When I see people on the internet mad 100% of the time, now it's one thing to get mad, or it's one thing to be passionate, or it's one thing to be whatever, right? But when I see people that are angry 100% of the time on the internet, I'll be like, bro, that can't be good for your health. That can't be good for your blood pressure. Like, you must have a difficult, I love you too, Rhonda. You must have a difficulty with your relationship. Something is wrong, whatever. Real talk. Rita just sent me a message like, hey, I got my location on, but I'm getting a massage right now just in case you need me. Literally. She literally just sent me a message and said, I'm getting a 2-hour massage. Feels so great. I kid you not, at 11:50, she said, I'm getting a 2-hour massage. Okay. Enjoy. Enjoy. Have a good time. Leslie called out of school to go get a massage with her. I said, what? Both of y'all getting a massage together? Yeah, Dad. I need a massage. I don't be understanding, honestly. I don't be understanding why people are so mad 100% of the day. It's like, wake up, bro. Wake up. Y'all gonna need someone else to step up. Pistons, shout out to you. I appreciate you, TS Car Wash Detail Service. Aaron Lucas says, my CEO plays hockey twice a week with the ELT. Is it worth the networking for me to get into it too? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think that, listen, network, don't go do stuff with other people just to try to network with them. Do stuff that you like with other people, or do stuff that you like and then network with the people that you meet when you're there. I like basketball games. I'm not going to hockey games just to network. When I go to hockey games and I meet people and I exchange information, then we just go from there. I go to basketball games. I meet people there. I meet white people, black people. We wind up doing business together. We have a good time. Everywhere I go, I'm going to meet people. So networking is not going to join and do something that you don't want to do. Networking is being likable and following up with the people that you do meet in order to build great relationships. I wouldn't just go and do it just for the sake of doing it, bro. I wouldn't personally. I wouldn't do it. Maddie Plays PC says people are praising the women's USA team for not accepting Trump's invite and are upset with the men's USA team for partying with Cash Patel. Well, listen, let them. Did y'all really expect for the women to accept any invite over to the White House? Oh, if he invited you, then go. I don't expect for any women's team anywhere, whether they represent the United States or I don't accept the women's bobsled team to ever accept a visit to the White House because women are bitter. I'm assuming that it's got to be half the team that voted for Kamala Harris. So no, I wouldn't even. I wouldn't care. Cash Patel plays hockey and coaches it. Oh, that's pretty dope. You saw Drewski's Soul Train skit? I didn't. I'll play it. I'll check it out maybe on After Hours tonight and let everybody else tell me what's going on. Nancy Guthrie offers $1 million. Yeah, that story pretty much died. The way Tom tosses his phones need to be studied. I don't care about this stuff, bro. I genuinely don't. I don't care about this stuff. All right, let me continue on with the show. We got to deal with Mamdani. Mexico, FBI Director Cash Patel, that
sing their praises. They saved lives this time. I guarantee it. They had people off the roads across several states because of the heads up that we all got. The Northeast, and that nor'easter going full on blizzard in at least 19 different spots that watchers are marking now historically. It's going to be a little tricky in those high densely populated areas. You're taking a look right now outside our studios in New York. And they've been working all night. I mean, there were times when the snow was falling 3 inches at a time and they were keeping up. But you're just now starting at noon, the curfew lifted. You still don't see a lot of people on the streets, though. Anyway, we want to mention some of the ID requirements now for emergency snow shovelers. That's been part of the story here in New York. The Big Apple socialist mayor, Zoran Mamdani, will not let people help clear the city of snow unless they have at least 2 of 5 forms of ID. In addition to meeting basic eligibility requirements, applicants must present 2 small photos, 2 original forms of ID, plus copies and a social security card. Mamdani is a member of the Democrat Socialists of America, which has said requiring an ID to vote is racist. So what do you call it when you have to have an ID to remove snow? The group called the Save America Act said, quote, a sweeping voter suppression bill that will force Americans to show proof of citizenship at the ballot box. Democrat Socialists of America roundly condemns this threat to political participation and civic life and urges the Senate to reject this bill. Griff, you started laughing as I was saying that because it sounds like a joke, but they're serious, yet you really got to show some big ID because they want to be able to pay these people.
Yeah.
But still.
Well, so look, Zoran Mamdani just made the strongest case for the passage of the SAVE Act that any politician had. I don't know if he intended to do that. But like I just looked back across the last week, literally I had to show an ID to check into my hotel. I had to show an ID to rent the car. I was in Tucson. I had to show an ID at CVS when I bought over-the-counter cold medicine. Of course, you have to show it at the airport when you fly. You have to show it when you buy beer, of which I like. And yet here you're talking about, even for snow shovelers, for your very point, we want to pay them, but yet not to vote in election. It's literally, we talk about these 80-20, 90-10 issues. This is like 99 to maybe 1 or less issue.
Well, and he's making the case, as you said. Thanks, Mayor Mamdani.
And here's the thing. Social media is covered right now, because I subscribe to so many local accounts of like just good Samaritans out there, you know, shoveling the snow of public walkways and steps to the subway and that kind of thing. So I just find it so ironic that it's adamant that our sacred right of voting here in this country is somehow like up for grabs, and then shoveling snow.
Not to the super chats.
If you don't have those IDs and we're relying on just good neighbors to do it, who are probably going to break like this, none of this makes sense. But this is literally just playing in our faces at this point. You have to have 2 forms of ID.
Now, this shoveling program apparently was started in 2014 in New York, and it was to help New York basically dig themselves out. And so whenever you have something like this, a blizzard over in New York, what the mayor can basically do is allow for the citizens to participate in digging out New York by saying, well, we'll pay you X amount of dollars per hour in order to help us dig out and shovel snow, in addition to the regular city workers trying to clear the streets and clear the sidewalks for the people, right? Now, the FACE Act is basically saying that people should have a valid form of ID when they go to the ballot box, regardless of what state that you live in. So different states have different rules because we know that all states are not created equal, and they all have different rules that allow for certain people to maintain power depending on what side of the political aisle you on. But in order to basically keep our elections safe and secure, what has been introduced is the FACE Act, which basically forces people to show ID when they go to the ballot box. That's it. That's it. If you want to vote, then you show ID, and that way we know that there's no finessing going on at the ballot boxes, and we know that it's equal on both sides. But the Democrats are fighting this vigorously, and they are basically saying that this is impeding people's rights to be able to participate in the election process because people should be able to vote regardless of whether they have ID. I'm sorry, the SAVE Act. Thank you for correcting me, Aaron. The SAVE Act. And that they should be able to vote regardless because it's too difficult for people to be, for people to be able to vote, but they still should be able to cast their vote. But basically, this compromises the integrity of the elections. So it shows to be hypocritical when you have to face and show two forms of ID to shovel snow, but you don't have to show any ID to vote, which basically tells us that a lot of elections are finessed, a lot of elections are stolen, and a lot of elections are taken out of the hands of the people, and it's for other people to still be able to maintain power, the Democrat Party to maintain power. Now, why would anybody in their right mind not want, secure and safe elections? This is playing in your face. Like nobody, if I have to show ID to get in the car, if I got to show ID in order to get a driver, in order to go to the DMV, if I got to show ID to get liquor, bro, if I go to Walmart and I try to buy cold medicine, do you know that they will force me to get ID to show ID? If you buy eye drops at certain places, they'd be like, gotta show some ID. Gotta show some ID. You can't get cold medicine without showing ID. But you don't have to show ID when you vote. Interesting. Eric, think about what you just said, Eric. My friend Eric D, friend to the show for a long time. Eric D says most elections are not stolen. Eric, no election should be stolen. What do you mean most? The first word in your comment proves why we need safe elections. Even you acknowledge it without even realizing that you're acknowledging it. If you have to say most instead of no, then that means that we need to have an ID and we need to make sure that we protect elections. You can't say, well, most elections ain't stolen. No election should be stolen. What up, Aaliyah? No election should be stolen, Eric. The fact that you said most makes this problematic. Why did you say most? Why did you say most? Why did you say most, Eric? You said it, not me. I'm looking at your words. That's a fact. There's no way. Tommy, don't defend me. I'm gonna answer the super chats in a second. Is no reason why you gonna sit here and tell me that Biden got the most votes in history. The most votes in history. The most votes in history.
Mamdani, thanks so much for joining us. The storm is New York City's 9th snowiest since 1869. Earlier today, there were reports of some power outages in some parts of your city. What can you tell us about that? And has anyone been hurt in this storm to your knowledge?
So it's a real pleasure to be on, Jake, and I can just start with the power outages. So we were alerted to the fact about 10,000 New Yorkers lost power, mostly concentrated in the Rockaways, and this time about 8,000 of them have recovered that power. We sent out emergency personnel to inspect the conditions, as well as opened up 3 warming centers to ensure that for any New Yorker who was without power, they had a place to stay warm and to stay safe. Because as you said, this is one of the largest amounts of snowfall the city has ever received. This is the first blizzard since 2016. And citywide, we saw about 19 to 20 inches. There were parts of New York City, like eastern Staten Island, we saw 24 inches of snow. Now, thankfully, that snow has come to an end at this time, and now it's a question of response. And I can tell you that we don't have any indications that anyone has lost their life as a result of this blizzard. We have been using every tool we have to try and get homeless New Yorkers inside over the course of this snow, where they can be safe and they can be warm.
The storm's also, of course, having a major impact on air travel. The last flight to depart New York's LaGuardia Airport was a Southwest Airlines flight to Nashville at 8:19 p.m. last night. Do you have a sense of when airlines might feel it will be safe to resume travel?
I can't tell you an exact time. I can just tell you that we're going to be using every tool that we have to make sure that it is safe to travel, whether by air, whether by bus, whether by train, whether by bike, or whether by foot or by car. And frankly, we're very lucky here in New York City that we have the incredible men and women of the DSNY, our Department of Sanitation. I began my day today with them at around 6:30 a.m., seeing their Blade Runner 2.0 system, where they showed me that by 5:30 a.m. this morning, they had hit more than 99% of our city's streets with a first plow attempt. And that continues through the day as they has 2,500 hardworking men and women on every single 12-hour shift. Right now, actually, there will be about more than 2,000 who are returning from a shift, more than 2,000 about to go on another shift.
Your city's urgently hiring emergency snow shovelers to help remove snow and ice from public areas, offering people $30 an hour. House Republicans are criticizing you for requiring workers to bring multiple forms of identification to sign up for that job. They tweeted, quote, "Let's get this straight. In Zoran Mamdani's socialist utopia, it takes 2 forms of ID to shovel snow, but no ID to vote. Make it make sense," unquote. What's your response to that, sir?
Well, here in New York City, we follow the law, and it's federal law to require certain forms of identification in order for someone to actually be paid for this kind of a job. And so that's what we're asking for, 2 forms of identification. It's a long-standing city program. It's a long-standing city policy. And thanks to the hard work of DSNY, they've expanded their capacity for how many New Yorkers they can supervise at a time, now up to 1,800 per shift. And so these hardworking men and women who've signed up over the course of the last few days and last few weeks, they've joined the work that sanitation has been doing, and they're clearing crosswalks, bus stops, fire hydrants, helping our city get back on its feet.
President Trump today briefly brought up the snow.
So he didn't even answer the question. So the only reason he's going to say it is because, no, it's only for the law. So if it wasn't for the law, are you saying that you wouldn't requirement? And see, this is why I think that we need tougher questions, right? We honestly need tougher questions from the people that are interviewing, because they don't hold these politicians' feet to the fire. The follow-up question should have immediately, of course he deflected. The follow-up question should have been, so are you saying that you wouldn't require 2 forms of ID if that's not what it says? And is it possible for you to change the law to more or less reflect your values and what it is that you're trying to rock out with? He just completely deflected. There's no follow-up question. There's no pressing. There's no none of that. Why? With the fake smile. Jake Tapper is soft. Jake Tapper is soft as fuck.
Situation in your city. Take a listen.
It's so crazy. The mayor of New York, and he's a very nice person. I met him, but his ideology is not too good. But we're having a massive snowstorm right now, and I heard that he's asked people to come out and help shovel the snow. Okay, so you get a shovel and you start shoveling, right? What the hell? You're not going to help too much, but you can help.
President actually praising you in there for being nice while kind of dismissing your snow shoveling plan. Have you talked to him at all about the storm? If you need federal assistance, how often do you talk or text with him?
You know, I will keep those conversations private. However, what I will tell you is that the conversations that I have had in the past with the president, including that at the Oval Office, as he had shared right after, we're always focused on New York City and how we can make sure that we are actually helping New York City. And frankly, this emergency snow shoveler program is one that allows every single sanitation worker to be on the plows, to be on the salt spreaders, to get this city back up and running. It's why they've been able to disperse about 50 million pounds of salt. And then these snow shovelers are the ones who supplement the work, frankly, of the department. And what we've seen is here in New York City, as is the law, property owners have to clear the sidewalk in front of their property. They have to clear the crosswalk that's abutting them. And yet there were about 4,000 violations in the last storm of this. Our interest, frankly, is not in issuing violations. It's in finding compliance. And so this is also work to assist in that.
Well, there you go. That is his answer for requiring multiple forms of identification in order for you to vote, but being vehemently against the idea of requiring people to have voter ID in order to vote in an election. Make sure you guys tap into a Patreon. Link is in the description. Give me a second. Let me see something. T. Hanley, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. People be sending me different stuff. Give me a second. Let me see something really quickly. Let me see if it's worth entertaining. I'm gonna read the super chats in a second. Hey, I need everybody that has a Facebook account to report this, please. This is not my channel. So somebody just sent me this on Facebook, and somebody is trying to monetize off of my stuff. So I do not have a Darth Anton on Facebook at all. This is not my place. They say it's a dedicated fan page. No, this is not me. This is all pilfered. They stealing my stuff and they reposting it. And I hate the fact that people can't see that this is fake. So, for anybody that is subscribed to this, if the people in the chat, whoever it is, your car, somebody, moderators post this, everybody flag this shit. Let me see something else. There's some other dedicated fan pages of me too. Flag that. Flag. I'm gonna get y'all a list of them, and we're gonna post all of this shit inside of the Patreon. I mean, inside of the Discord too. There's another one. There's the other one. Flag this shit too. And this motherfucker got 86,000 followers. This is the thing. Hold on one second. I know. They must be roasting with both of them because it's the same. It's literally the exact same thing. It's the same email. They started multiple ones just in case other ones get flagged down. Shit is horrible, bro. Yeah, man, flag all of these fan pages, bro. Flag all of this stuff, bro. Get this up out of there. I need y'all to work hard. Hate this shit. Hate it. I hate it. I need to flag it. This is not my content. I hate it 100%, bro. So get this up out of there. Make sure, again, you guys hit a like. There's a whole group called Anton Daniels Premium. What? Can y'all work on that inside of the chat? Get that up out of here. The one where I'm holding two dogs, that's me. I'm going to show you the ones that's my, I don't use it. This one is actually me. How the fuck they got more followers? Maybe because I don't post on Facebook. I don't use Facebook. This is actual me. This is my actual page. The Anton Daniels, the one where I'm holding two dogs. That's actually me. But how the fuck they gonna be pushing shit and having more shit than I ain't gonna get into it. I'm gonna leave it alone. I hate all of these motherfucking pages that's pretending and finessing and all of that stuff. Don't get finessed. Flag the hell out of it. If you got a Facebook page, flag the hell out of it. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Good God. I'm going to address it. I got to file some complaints with Facebook and all of that shit. We'll get it up out of there. Y'all, you heard T.I.'s diss song? I have not heard T.I.'s diss song. I'm sorry. Thornton says, peace and investments, Anton. Shout out to Thornton. I appreciate you, Thornton. Aaron Lucas says, like a dummy, I parked on the corner and got buried. T.S. Car Wash and Detail Service says, thoughts on how Darren Peterson is acting? I don't know anything about that. I'm sorry. Jay says, oh yeah, here it is. Jay paid $5 to say, Anton, you claim to be Christian, but live in ways Bible warns against. And it says those who are adulterers won't inherit the kingdom of heaven. Well, guess what it also says? Don't bear false witness to lies. All right. So you know what's wrong. You know what you should repent for speaking on some shit that you're not familiar with and being a gossip girl. It says that the tongue, watch your tongue. Watch your tongue and stop spreading rumors and false lies. So your problem is not only that you're gay, because the Bible doesn't like that either, but your problem is that you are going on all of this gossip girl shit and you are taking it as gospel. So for you, you need to repent for being a gossip girl. Mm-hmm. And so he got his other page and he says, anti-repent. Why do y'all type in all caps? Same to you. And first of all, I want to appreciate y'all for contributing into the platform. Thank you. And TS Car Wash and Detail Service says, would you go on Joe Budden's podcast? Hell fucking yeah, I would go on Joe Budden's podcast. 392Q says, it's an active shooter in Washington, you in St. Louis right now. My sister is there and they on lockdown. All right, well, I'm going to cover that in the morning. TS Car Wash and Detail Services, both pages made like $5K for the GoFundMe. That's so bad. Eric D says, to date, Republicans have provided zero evidence of any now you know that that's a lie. You know that that's a lie, Eric D. And Fulton in 2020, even Trump's judges throughout the prior lawsuits due to a lack of evidence. So I ask you again, where's the evidence? Jamon Coleman says, been listening for a while, first time super chat. Shout out to you, bro. Thank you for supporting the platform. You're an example of what you preach. Keep working, man. Let me know if you need photo booth entertainment. If any of your meetups free of charge, that's a bet. That's a bet. Manny Plays PC says, oh, the one where you holding the dogs is you. I thought it was. I was holding one of my people's dogs. These are my people's dogs. This is my my sister-in-law's dogs right here. No? I don't necessarily care. These are well cared for dogs. Have y'all seen their chains? You don't see their chains? Look at their chains. These are well cared for dogs. Now, I'm not a dog lover myself, meaning that I'm not looking to buy one myself, but these are well cared for puppies. And plus, the ladies like the dogs. They like puppies. And so I had to take a picture with the puppies because the ladies said, oh my God, Anton, I love that. So these is my sister. These are my sister's dogs. And so I took a picture with the dogs. Y'all don't like that? Y'all said that? Wait a minute, this is fruity too? Okay, so what's not fruity? What's not fruity? If this right here is fruity, then what isn't fruity? Is everything gay? Good gosh. Good gosh. Everything is gay. That's crazy. So taking a picture is gay. All right. I got you. Well, I mean, you know, it is what it is. The people are the ones that determine what's gay and what's not. Purple Haze says, what up? Have you heard about the payment processor FedNow? If so, can you deep dive into it? How? Let me do some research. I'll write it down. Let me see. FedNow. Is that the name of it? FedNow? I've never heard of it before, but until now. If you're a man, everything is gay. I want to get into the Chicago Bears conversation. Hold on, let me pull it up because it came up on my profile earlier. So I want to address it. White House, LeBron James. As I'm watching this closely, I can't wait to find out exactly what's going on. Because I know that they was meeting with. Oh, so this is what they came up with. Okay, so the Chicago Park District came out with a new figure. All right, I got you. We got to give y'all an update.
Minnesota Vikings wide receiver Rondale Moore was found dead on Saturday. He was just 25 years old. Police in New Albany, Indiana, just across the border from Louisville, Kentucky, suspect he died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Authorities say Moore was found in the garage of a property in the city. Moore was a standout receiver at Purdue before being drafted in the second round of the 2021 NFL Draft by the Arizona Cardinals. He signed a one-year contract with the Minnesota Vikings for the 2025 season.
And we're getting a look into what the future could look like at Soldier Field beyond the Chicago Bears. The Park District laying out a new plan for the stadium, and it could come with quite the price tag.
Asal Razai is live there right now with what the plans look like so far, and they're pretty interesting. Good morning, Asal.
Yeah, good morning, Dana. Audrina, $630 million. That's how much it would cost to remake Soldier Field. That's according to the Chicago Park District, who want to convert this area into a space that's dedicated for a major concert venue and an event space. Now, we know The plan includes $130 million in renovations to the stadium itself, including a new sound system and new dressing rooms. Another $500 million would go towards upgrading infrastructure and parking around the field. Park District leaders say the Lakefront Stadium is their largest source of revenue that's not taxed, generating tens of millions of dollars on a yearly basis. Events here not only creating jobs for people in our city, but they also drive economic activity into the city's other tourism sectors like hotels and restaurants. As of last week, momentum for the Bears' departure from Soldier Field has shifted to Indiana after lawmakers there approved a bill that would help the team move to Hammond. Governor J.B. Pritzker has since called on the team's ownership to be clear on whether they're still interested in staying in Illinois. Now, we know either way, there is change on the horizon for the stadium on where we're seeing that happen, and we're getting a look into that with this new plan from the Park District. Still waiting on a timeline to see when exactly all of this would come to fruition. For now,
yo, if Chicago lose the Bears, y'all got to get rid of Brandon Johnson. Y'all have to completely get rid of Brandon Johnson. If Chicago loses the Bears, y'all have to get rid of Brandon Johnson. I don't know if $635 million revamp is going to get it. I don't think that that's going to get it. I think that they already gone to. A $2 billion proposal from Indiana in Hammond, Indiana, which is less than 30 minutes away, like 20, 25 minutes away from Soldier Field, versus going to Arlington Heights where they already own land, and then J.B. Pritzker ain't playing ball the way that he play ball, because don't nobody actually want to go out to Arlington Heights. I think that, and now they want to, at the last minute, say, oh, we going to put $635 million, $135 million into renovation of the dressing rooms in the stadium, and $500 million into the around the park and the infrastructure. I don't think they're just going to do it, bro. I don't see it. I can't see it. I can't see that being the thing to get it done. I don't see that getting it done. Nope. At all. I think it's over. I think it's over. I think you got to come at least with $1.2 billion. Easy. At least with $1.2 billion easy. In order for
the combine's happening just down the street from the Indiana State House.
Well, that's where lawmakers today continued the debates on a bill to lure the NFL franchise to the Hoosier State. So let's get started here. A lot to kind of break down here. Where do we begin with? You've learned some information that you want to share with us.
Well, we reported last night.
Yep, Soldier Stadium is one of the smallest, and that motherfucker don't even got a dome. I mean, y'all got to play in the cold. Not only do y'all got to play in the cold, and y'all playing in an old stadium, and y'all got to deal with Chicago. You got to deal with Brandon Johnson. They bullying y'all. They're bullying y'all. And y'all got to put up some money. Money talks.
Plans that are on foot for a $630 million proposal to renovate Soldier Field post-Bears to make it a concert destination, which it already is, but to expand it. If they lose the Bears, they want to make as much money as they can on these other events, which the Bears only account for $7 million of the $50 million in revenue, according to Park District figures that comes in. So you could fill that up with a couple of concerts if you lose the Bears. It's not necessarily a bleak future for Soldier Field. They are briefing state lawmakers as you look at the site in Wolf Lake in Indiana. So here's what's going on in Indiana right now. The House is debating the bill that would lure the Bears, that would pay up to $1 billion of a new stadium through public money. And some details emerged this weekend just about how that bill would be paid for. We're talking taxes on liquor, sales taxes, income taxes, toll road fees. This is not a free lunch for the taxpayers and the residents of Northwest Indiana. Will that stall this bill? Will folks start to oppose some parts of this, given the fact that now we know that taxpayers are going to be on the hook for this? Now, Illinois, I've just learned that there is scheduled to be a meeting tomorrow.
This is the proposal for what it's supposed to look like over in Hammond, Indiana. Hell yeah, I'm taking this all day long. 100%. This is the possible look of what it could look like over there in Hammond, Indiana. Nice covered dome, building a whole city based off of the Bears. Somebody said not going to happen. I think, what up, Lex? I think it is going to happen. I think it is going to happen 100%. 100, I think it's going to happen all day, every day, all day.
Between lawmakers and the Bears, and they're going to go over the very latest with what is in the Illinois proposal for quote-unquote tax certainty, the thing the Bears have been negotiating now for several months, this notion that they can just negotiate their property taxes with Arlington Heights. That's what they're looking for in this legislation. There was some pushback on it. They've been tweaking it. They've been meeting on it. Tomorrow, I'm told we're going to get a version of it revealed. But I'm not told to expect any votes on that this week. So this is coming to a head. Both states are moving very quickly now to the finish line. It looks like Indiana might get there first, but does that mean the Bears will say, well, we're done, we're going to Hammond? Remember, this weekend, Bears CEO Kevin Warren, while he was in Italy, he did send a statement. He was in Italy watching his niece, I think, in Milan Olympics. He sent a statement to Crane Chicago Business saying there's been progress in Illinois as well, and we appreciate all that's going on in Illinois. So this is not a done deal either way. What is a done deal, it seems like, is that Soldier Field is not going to host the Bears, come some future date. I mean, they're going to be there for a couple years as they build a new stadium, either in Hammond or Arlington Heights. But with Soldier Field, the talk becomes, what do we do with that stadium? They can't tear it down. They need to make use of it. And there's a way to do it.
And where does that money come from?
Beyonce. Well, beyond that, you're absolutely right. Absolutely right. They want that concert revenue.
She'll do it.
So the thing that there's still $460 million on debt on the renovation from 2003, and it's hotel taxes that pay for that. So the city wants to have more concerts like Beyonce weekends because the hotels were 98% occupied.
But who pays for it to become the type of venue that would allow?
So that what the Park District is proposing is the Bears would pay for some of that through penalties they would pay for leaving their lease here, and they're asking for state infrastructure road fund money, which is separate from the state budget, to fund some infrastructure improvements to make it easier to get in and out of Soldier Field.
That's the worst.
And so some folks are like, well, how come you couldn't do that? Well, the Bears are still there.
Yeah.
They do want to do that if they're going to make this Beyonce, Taylor Swift, Metallica, the Rolling Stones. Fingers crossed that they're still around, back in a couple of years. So they do want to. They want new concessions, bathrooms, dressing rooms. They want to make it up into a nice venue. And they think they can compete and lure a lot of concerts there. So
this is so dumb. I can't believe y'all losing y'all team. I cannot believe that they are losing the Bears. This is diabolical. Chicago, New York, Los Angeles, Miami, Atlanta, all of those places are supposed to have teams in the city. All of those places are supposed to have teams in the city. You can't lose the fucking Bears. You can't lose your football team, bro. Why would you lose your football team? You can't lose your football team. Yo, that is a straight up embarrassment all day long. I can't believe that y'all are even in this position and y'all have lost every piece of leverage that there is to have. and you fumble in the bag like this. Chicago! Did y'all know that when y'all elected this mayor and when y'all elected J.B. Pritzker as y'all governor, that ultimately y'all would be giving up everything, that y'all wouldn't even have a football team anymore? No. You know what I'm saying? That just don't. The Indiana Bears, it could be the Hammond Bears, it could be the Gary Bears, the Gay Bears. It could be all of that. Oh my God. Y'all could be the Gay Bears. Y'all could be whatever y'all want to be, man. But it's crazy. The Yogi Bears. It's embarrassing. It's very embarrassing. Y'all ain't never, ever supposed to lose y'all team like this. Good God. The Care Bears. Oh, I like that. The Care Bears. That's the perfect name. AD locate. What am I hating on? Why would I hate? I think it's a shame. Listen, every major American city is supposed to have a sports team, a football team. I'm talking about the biggest American cities are supposed to have a sports team. Y'all not gonna have a sports team, bro. One of the things that I've said that I wanted to do is that I wanted to travel all across the United States of America and watch an NBA game in every single arena. Maybe I'll try that next year or something like that. That's what I want to do. I want to go to every single NBA arena. I've only been to like 4 so far. I want to go to every single NBA arena and watch a basketball game there. You know, I think the worst NBA arena that I visited so far is Portland. Portland's NBA arena is a piece of shit. And maybe I'm just comparing it to Little Caesars Arena or something. But I want to go to every NBA arena and watch a game. That's one of my goals. When am I coming to OKC? OKC. I think I'm going to start back next year. Next year is when I'm probably going to come out to OKC. Yeah, man. God bless Chicago. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notifications. You can only hate on something if they doing better than you. Because hate goes up, don't go down. Q Executive MLE says, why are people believing the nonsense that these content creators are saying? You have nothing to hide because you do it live. Shout out to Bill O'Reilly. It don't matter, but I mean, I'm gonna show y'all on the Patreon how I capitalize off of it. So that's all that matters. I'm feeding the streets right now, bro. That's what it is. I'm the STEMI pack. I'm the 2026 STEMI pack. The streets is nothing without me. What would y'all do if I wasn't here? What would they talk about? They would have nothing to talk about. Everybody would be broke. So, you know, it is what it is. The rumors is the rumors. Sister Bethy says, Brother Anton, I sent you 2 emails. All right, sister. All right, sis. I got you. Lex, please, says, good morning, AD. I'm mad at you. February 23rd, 2027. Get it, baby. Mohawk out of here. Hammond, Indiana. About 5 minutes from the city. Walmart, cheap gas and all. Shout out to Lex. Lex, and shout out to your best friend, too. My girl Lex in the building. Y'all can catch her tonight on the show after hours. TS Car Wash and Detail Service says the whole NFL getting domes now is sad because that was team's advantage, not Buffalo. Buffalo wanted to be assholes. My coworkers in Mexico, and they are raising Airbnbs, and they've issued a security alert. Of course they are. They're going to raise the prices. They're going to capitalize off of y'all. He has videos and said Mexico is so much worse than what they're saying on the news. They can take the White Sox. AR's back says Indiana said you can roll with a 0 or ball with a hero. I can always tell whether or not a nigga really know ball. Because all I got to do is look at your form. Oh, no. I know you don't know ball. You don't know ball. You don't know shit about that. You don't know ball. You don't know shit about that. You see the blueprint I made for you. The ball is in your couch, shouted. Coach Chris in the building says, as a leader, do you always confer with your team? Or do you make the decision on your own sometimes, even if the team doesn't agree with it? I don't think that I'm going to make the decision, or I might say, hey, this is what we're doing. And then some people may get an input. Other people are like, yo, let's do it or whatever. But most of the time, I just make the decision on my own and we rock out. Ain't nobody worried about y'all on no basketball court. Ain't nobody worried about y'all on the basketball court. Yeah, I have been saying that Chicago is broke. All right, listen. This is the agenda for the day. State of the Union tonight at 8 p.m. Back on the Millionaire Morning Show. It's going to be the Millionaire Night Show tonight. State of the Union tonight. We getting it popping. After hours is going to be at about 10:30. So 8 p.m. State of the Union. After hours is at 10:30 p.m. Eastern. Both of these is Eastern Standard Time. Then in the morning, we doing the Millionaire Morning Show. And then right after the Millionaire Morning Show, roughly around 2 p.m. Eastern, is when we're going to do the Patreon live stream. All right? Let's get it. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Executive Suite Emily says, Father's Day should be great this year. You have a lot of sons out here. I should be getting a lot of gifts then. Feeding the internet and taking care of these disappointing sons is so ungrateful. Facts. Listen, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I got a little something up my sleeve coming soon. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Peace.